Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Tonight, we are talking about the Nancy Guthrie case. The FBI has been back at the Nancy Guthrie home, and we need to know what sent them there. More than 6 months after 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie vanished from her home in the Tucson, Catalina foothills, FBI agents have reportedly returned back to the neighborhood and focused on an area behind her property. Tonight, we're going to be digging deep into the reports, asking the questions everyone wants to know. Did investigators receive new information? And what exactly brought them there? If not, we're going to dig deep. A lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace. Smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong. But honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice,
Patty, thank you.
and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Mother chickens, let's roll.
Hold up, lights on, chat in the room, another late night and another headline blooming. Coffee gone cold, but the story got heat and one little detail keep tapping my screen. Coming in clutch, when the timeline bends, we don't just scroll, we connect loose ends. Somebody said nah, that's probably enough, but the chat said Justin, we're coming in clutch. Run that back, don't rush that part. Something fell wrong from the very first start. Different day, same shaky excuse, and the math ain't mathin' when we check the proof. I'm not here to play detective for fame, I'm here when the story starts changing names. One clip, one call, one post too much, and the whole room knows we're coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, yeah, the facts stay loud. Truth don't hide when we bring the crowd. Screens lit up and the chat don't sleep. We dig real deep where the stories get steep. Pearls in the chat, lights in the back. Somebody better explain why the story went flat. You can dodge one question, maybe dodge two. With the internet clock, what you said don't cue. Wait, Say that again, you said it was there, then it wasn't back then. You said you forgot, but the record got saved. Now the chest wide awake and the room just changed.
Coming in clutch when it all gets strange, when the facts get buried and the tone starts change. We don't need drama, the truth does enough, that's why they pull up, we're coming in clutch.
Late night crew, yeah, we built this thing. One live stream turned to a whole damn ring. Members in green miles holding it down. Whole chat moving like a small town crowd. No fake hype, no lazy spin, just one more clue and we're back again. If it don't sit right, we don't let it slide. We put the detail right up on live.
Coming in clutch, say it one more time. Whole room locked on the very next line. From the first red flag to the final touch, you know where to be, we're coming in clutch.
When the screen fades out and the night gets still, somebody somewhere knows truth comes real. We'll be right here when the next facts drop. Coming in clutch and we don't just stop.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is August 12th, 2026. It is currently 9:35 p.m. the East Coast of the United States. Bonjour. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you guys all so much for joining me. Tonight, we're talking about the Nancy Guthrie case out of Pima County, Arizona. And we know that the FBI has been back, and we're going to get a little deeper into that tonight. Also, wanted to kind of talk more about the backyard. So guys, before we get started, if you would be so kind and please do me a big favor. If you're on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up button. We greatly appreciate that. Also, if you would share this live stream out, hit that share button, copy that link, drop it in any of your favorite social media. And if you would consider hyping this video on YouTube, you get 3 hypes a week. They're absolutely free. And if you don't use them, you lose them. So if you would consider hyping this video after the live stream, you have to do it on your phone or your tablet or anything that is mobile. Also consider commenting down below. Tell a friend, tell a family member, tell anybody. So go over and sub up to Clutch Them Pearls. Good to see everyone in chat. Thank you guys. I love the glass. Oh, these aren't new. These are the same old, baby. Same old. It's probably just I got the, more of a dark background, so it's probably just a little bit lighter. Good to see you guys. How you doing? And so a little bit later for me than I normally do. I know it's a little later, so apologize for some of you guys. I know some of you guys don't do the late nights. Patty Wine, thank you so very much, my dear. Really appreciate you. How you doing, Miss Patty Wine? Good to see you. Appreciate the support very much, Patty. You're such a sweetheart. Much love to you and yours, my dear. Good to see you. And we got PGH gifting a pearl necklace. How you doing? Appreciate you, my dear. Really appreciate that, PGH. You received that. Please give our girl PGH a big thank you. Today's my mama's heavenly birthday. So happy birthday, mama, to you in heaven. Much love to you. It's you think about those things, how long they've been gone and all that. And today's her heavenly birthday. Jana, thank you so much for the GOAT trophy, my dear. Appreciate you. Thank you for that, my dear. Really appreciate you. Very kind of you. Appreciate you very much, Miss Jana. Good to see you, love. And Lisa, how you doing, Miss Lisa? Thank you so much. Appreciate you very much. Welcome to the Pearl family, my dear Lisa. Appreciate you very much. Hey, War, good to see you, babe. Who else do we got up in here? Pam, thank you very much, love. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Oh, God. How you doing? Oh, let me show you something before we get started. I absolutely love when you guys send pictures in of with like you and your animals and stuff watching. And someone sent this to me last night. There we have a viewer who's I've showed you guys a lot of pictures of your animals and stuff. As long as you guys are fine with me sharing it, I always ask, of course, before. And they sent me this. We had, which I played it before. It's a a parrot singing kind of like my theme song, right? The Clutch That Pearls theme song, Holy and Hood. And last night, someone sent me another picture of her and her kitty watching. These just warm my heart. Here's her kitty down here. Isn't that so cute? Look at that, her kitty down there watching me, her and her kitty. Those make my day. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, guys. Hey, PGH, good to see you. Miss Mama 3, how you doing? Robin, Deb, Miss Connie, Pugs, Robin, Miss Mama. Hello, Lolo, Brandy, Lori, War, Mama Susu, Amber, Shari, good to see you, my friend. Teresa, good evening, Justin. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you, my dear. The ICU's up in here. Good to see you, babies. Miss Robin, Linda B. Who else we got? Miss Yvette. Hi, Miss Yvette. Catherine, good to see you, babe. Thank you again, PGH, for the clutch. Appreciate you, love. Good to see you. Miss Mama, 3 pugs and 1 Frenchie. Good to see you, hon. Wendy, hello. Carol, Babs, Lolo. Good to see you guys. Who else? Connie Cruz. Good to see you. Lisa, Miss Mama 3, Crystal Pistol. How you doing, girl? Tony, Miss Carol. How you doing, love? Shirley, Chipper. Hello. Good to see you. We got Miss Catherine up in here. Good to see Miss Catherine. Thank you, Miss Cindy. Appreciate you, Connie. Patty, Wayne. Who else? EEM. Good to see you. Miss Deb. How you doing? Good to see everyone. Yes, guys, please hit that thumbs up. We're going to get right onto it. I don't want to, Shirley. I don't want to. No, so I'm not going to. Okay. All right. Moving on here. So, interesting things. One thing I do want to talk about is, that's so cute. He's there. She just sent me another picture just now of her cat watching this. He watches every live of ours. So cute. Thank you so much. Thank you, PGH. Thank you for gifting 5 pearl necklaces. That's very, very sweet. Really do appreciate that, my dear. You received that. Make sure you give our PGH a big ol' thank you. Very, very sweet of you, my love. Thank you so much, PG. Appreciate you, babe. Good to see you. Thank you very much. Very kind. Make sure you thank our beautiful PGH for gifting one of those pearl necklaces. Welcome to the Pearl family, guys. Okay, so a lot to talk about tonight. Like I said, I do want to I want to talk about the backyard, and we just truly have no idea who did this to Nancy. I mean, I think if anyone says they do, I would not believe them at this point, to be quite honest with you. None of us know what happened to Nancy. And it could be anything from someone very close to her family, someone, family friends. It could be the lawn boy. It could be the pool boy or gal, whatever. It could be anyone, but it does seem like that it's someone close, to say the very, very least. I think we can all agree on that. And there's a lot of ads out there of Miss Guthrie and even Annie, where they have had a lot of ads of asking for recommendations, asking for people, doing the lawn, the flowers, all of that. Nancy couldn't really do anything on her own, especially the last few years of her life. She's 84 years old, she's going downhill, all of that, right? And I'm sure by now, I would think that Pima County and surely the FBI has went through the list of every maintenance person that worked on her home. If you have a home, it's constant maintenance, right? Whether something needs painted, something needs mowed, something needs planted, there's the roof. She just had the electrical upgrade, all of that. It does make me wonder, because she did have her home for sale very shortly for a time in, I want to say it was 2024. Wasn't very long though. A lot of times people will do like electrical upgrades, they'll put on a new roof or whatever before they get ready to sell it. And it kind of makes me wonder, which we have no idea. I'm not insinuating that she did, just kind of talking about, was she potentially even going to put it back on the market? Or was she just trying to get it, everything done for, if she's not here much longer even. Yes, please use initials if you kind of name anybody, because we don't want to directly blame anybody in this case particularly. So yeah, she certainly had a lot of people there. I was just looking at the backyard and I was just thinking, okay, well, she had to have somebody to mow the grass, right? And help me out here, because this is Tucson, right? This is Arizona. I've been to Arizona, but I've not lived in Arizona, and everything is the desert here. And so I was just thinking about, you've got to, I'm sure, water this grass daily, which there was sprinklers, and one of them was supposedly broken or whatever. But you've got to have someone to. You probably in Arizona, you probably need someone to come and to keep the grass alive there. Someone to fertilize it and re-sow it quite often as well. So there's the companies that will come and fertilize your grass to keep it alive. They'll do it, I think it's usually monthly or whatever, but you never know who Nancy could have struck up a conversation with. And I think we've all, whether it's someone that's done a service for us at one time or another, whether it's the mailman or whatever, you get to really know them. And sometimes it can become a personal friendship or whatever, or Nancy could have been felt sorry for some of them because they were down on their luck. Could she have loaned them money? And they said they would pay her back. Don't know. Thank you so much, Patty Ponytail. Really appreciate you, love. Good to see you. Tasha, thank you so much for the sparkles, my dear. Really appreciate you very much. PGH, thank you for the Sunday. Good to see you. You're very kind, PGH. And Cosmic, thank you so much for the thumbs up. Appreciate you, love. Okay, so let's thank you for that, Cosmic. Someone did my driveway and leaves today in secret. Can't figure out what neighbor. It was so sweet. That's really good neighbors, right? I've lived in different places where the neighborhood will talk to each other, and then I've lived in other places where it's like you don't do that, and it's kind of weird. I like to know my neighbors and kind of treat thy neighbor as thyself kind of thing. Tasha, thank you so much for the makeup brush. Really appreciate you, my dear. Kind of you. Deborah says, yes, that's so true. We love our mailman. He's like an old friend. Yes. I think everyone, if you're able to, I think everyone should tip their mailman and their trash guy and stuff like that, especially like with Christmas and stuff. We are under emergency. Oh God, it was crazy here yesterday. It was absolutely crazy here yesterday. I got some other photos before we get into the bigger stuff tonight. Some of you might seen, some of you may have never seen as well. I'm disabled and our neighbors help me and daughter in the snow. Yeah, I don't think, well, they don't got to worry about snow in Arizona. You know, well, I mean, not where they live. Anyways, my 17-year-old daughter's in the hospital. My neighbor, oh my God, Mama, is she okay? Is your daughter okay? I hope she's okay, honey. Me too. Sherry left, don't speak much. Yeah. I have keys and codes to my neighbors and they have mine. Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, think about that. That just made me think of something. Think about that. You know, let's say, you know, Nancy used to have a dog, right? Nancy used to have a dog. The dog died around December. Think about if Nancy was ever out of town and she gave someone she knew, whether it's a neighbor or someone she knew, a key code or whatever. It could even be something like that. You just don't know. But I do feel that this person was definitely at that home before, for sure. Annie, thank you so much for the clutch, darling. Appreciate you very much. Really do. Thank you, hon. My neighbors have my keys to my house. Yes. It has pros and cons. Some neighbors can be very nosy and annoying, like Sue Ellen. Well, there's always one, right? There's always one. My neighbor who lives above me hates me and calls me ugly. Oh my God, I'm sorry. That would really suck to have bad neighbors. I've had one bad neighbor before. Irrigation system is typically used for grass and outdoor planting, even pots. Yes, she would hire a landscape company to take care of her outdoor area, even if she used to take care of herself. Yeah, I mean, she loved to work in the gardens and stuff. She did. She loved to. Nancy, she talked about that in several of her videos that I've seen. But she probably did a little weeding or something if she was able to, maybe, sit down and do some weeding, but she wasn't able to. Oh, she wouldn't be able to do it all. Okay, we are blessed to have amazing neighbors. We all watch out for each other. That's good, Susie Q. Like I said, I've had one bad neighbor, and I think I've told this story, but such an asshole once, but I didn't start it. I never started it. She told me there was this area where we could pull. It was a couple houses that I lived before in the past, but there was this little side area across from our home where we could pull if there was an excessive amount of cars in our driveway or her driveway or whatever. Well, one night, it was like I didn't get off. I had to work very, very late one night, and I didn't get off work till after midnight. And this woman, she had someone kind of parked in. It's not really my spot, so I didn't get mad about it because neither one of us owned the property. And so I pulled right in her spot. I was tired. It wasn't a big thing. Again, it wasn't either one of our properties. And the next day I came and she put a letter on my car. And she said, I allow you to park here. I allow you to park here, and please don't park due to courtesy. And I was like, okay. So I started looking at the deed. And it was, it is just such a small, like maybe 4 cars could fit on it, and that was all the property it was. Well, when I actually had bought my house, she had that little piece of property kind of got messed up. It just didn't, it was a separate deed. You know how they do the properties and stuff like that. And so I went and got an attorney, and there was an old woman who had to like sign off on it like that. And so I went and got an attorney, and I found the old woman, and she was pretty much on her deathbed, bless her heart. And I was like, can you sign this? I'll give you some money. I just gave her, you know, a few $100 just to sign it. And after I got the deed, I went to her and I said, you need to move. You need to move, lady. And because she thought it was really her property. And I would have never done that if she hadn't been nasty to me. But she was nasty to me. And she didn't have a lot of places to park after that. So anyway, Justin, I just did a big tangent there. Just big tangent there. But yeah, she didn't have anywhere to park. So she had to make her a driveway in her yard. Anyway, moving on. So here's some Tommaso right here. And Tommaso, he seems to like to cook. You know what I mean? He seems to like to cook. Sounds like an easement. It almost basically was an easement. It really was. It was basically an easement. I mean, it was nothing, but because she did that to me, she had put stakes up around it, and she had put like, and another night I came home and I saw that, and because I knew, like, I had my attorney and stuff, and I just took him, I just slung him. Get out of here, lady. Anyhow, nice to gets you the long way. It really does. It really does. Because I don't try to be, really a jerk to anybody. She could have kind of held that differently. Thank you so much, JJ. Appreciate you very much for the sunshine. Thank you for the gold coin, my dear. Appreciate that very much. That sucks when people feel entitled to that. Just, yeah. I mean, anyway. Here we go. Let me show you these real quick before we get into the other stuff. I was looking at this. Look at Nancy's. Yes, Nancy's. Look at her eyes right here. Her eyes look really like red and stuff here. I noticed that. I'm like, was she crying here? Was she happy? I mean, obviously she's happy here. But maybe it was allergies. You guys have, people don't really have allergy. I mean, you can have allergies anywhere you live, but not in Tucson. That's where people usually go because of allergies. And you can see Tommaso here. He was a lot younger here. He was definitely a lot younger here. But here's one of Tommaso, apparently at the school that he worked at. Tommaso, looks, are you on that photo? I wonder if she could have had like cataract surgery or something like that. Authorities and reporters notes there were multiple floodlights outside the home, including 2 in the backyard. Yes, allergies exist in Tucson. Yeah, allergies are anywhere, but it's usually a much better, in Tucson than it is. It's, somewhere like, down south, Georgia or someplace, North Carolina, Virginia, Oh, thank you, Deb. Appreciate you, love. Thank you so much for the super sticker. How you doing, Miss Deb? Appreciate you very much for your support. Thank you, Miss Deb. Does he not work there anymore? I don't think so. I know of the band on the shirt, a 1980s industrial band. One of the neighbors had fallen and had a brain bleed and had a major part of their skull taken out. And the doctor is going to put it back when they'd better need prayers. Oh gosh, man. Okay. Tommaso looks like a dude who wishes he was still 21, midlife crisis. So do I, though. can't joke. I can't joke. Still same PS, just younger. He always looked like he was auditioning for The Godfather, in my opinion. I just wonder, like, did any of his other family move to the United States? You know, I haven't really looked like that. But he looks a little scary here. Don't you think? It's a little scary there. And of course, this is another picture. You can tell this is the classroom, right? We all remember the globe, you know, that they would pull down in front of the chalkboard generally, which I don't know if that's the one. I think that one just might be like a one that they tacked up on the wall or whatever. So you can tell he's at school here. Molly. Hey, Blue Bella, good to see you. It's a Gen X thing. We postponed being 21 until. Yeah. And then, of course, this is kind of a screenshot from this past fall. Whenever Nancy and Savannah and Annie were at that Mexican restaurant. And the only thing I can think of, in my opinion, if this happens to be some random person, in my opinion, it had to have started right then. Whether it was a coworker, someone there, someone eating there that day, it had to start there. But I think that's more of a long shot, if you ask me. Kelly, thank you so much for the 6-7. 6-7. Thank you, baby. Appreciate you. And then we have Tommaso right here. He's making, I think he's making some pasta, some ravioli here. And then, but look at, like, I don't know why people think that this guy, let me show you right here. I don't know why they think this guy looks like Tommaso. I don't see it at all. At all. I just don't. Do you guys? I don't see it. Some people do, but Tommaso was just much older. There was a weird guy at the restaurant hanging onto Savannah, not a waiter, that resembles the porch perp, in my opinion. Have you really? I'm sure the FBI and even Pima County has went back to that. Well, we know they went back to that restaurant, and they probably went through everyone's bill that day who was there that day. They probably looked at the employees that was working there then, you know, and maybe some might not be there now as well. Simply Real says, honestly, I don't feel that the restaurant meal together has anything to do with the case, just my opinion. I think it's probably not. I do agree with that, but I don't think that we can necessarily rule it out either. But the mask on Annie, I don't think it's Annie either. Cindy, thank you so much for the marshmallow, my dear. Appreciate you very much. Good to see you. I heard Savannah was in Tucson January 31st, flew out at 5:30. She had dinner with Nancy. No, she didn't. No, not really, to be honest. The mask is so hard. Yeah. Little too close for comfort. To disappearance, that TV spot with S.A. and Nancy to the restaurant. Yeah. Not tomato. His eyes are too deep set and the perp has high eyes. Yeah. This guy is much younger, right? This guy's younger. You can just tell he's more young, right? I'd say under 40, most likely above 30, under 40, somewhere in there. Hey, Virginia, Carolina Pickers, good to see you. Thank you so much, love. Thank you for the jewels. Appreciate you. Hey, Justin, did you catch the podcast with Kathy Lee saying she hopes she's wrong about what she personally thinks happened to Nancy and that the family asked her not to talk about it? No, I haven't. Please send that to me. The gate looks similar, but not the face. Hey, Ratui, good to see you. Did you notice the star on the porch guy's jacket? We're going to get to that tonight, Ratui. We're getting to that. Yes. Saw that. And I wanted to know a little bit more about what you guys think about that. We can go ahead and pull that up. So some people are talking about a star. Is it a star? Is it not a star on this porch guy's thing? Let me know what you guys think here. I think it's right there. Is this a star of some sort? Is this what you were talking about, Ratui, right here? Let me see here. I've got another picture somewhere. I'm just trying to pull it up. So where is it at? Is that the star? Give me where the hell did it go? I got another picture of the star. The house isn't up for sale. No, the house is not up for sale. Don't believe that. House is not up for sale. 100% not. I just think it's a shadow wrinkle in his jacket. It could be. I thought it was a logo possible. The porch perp has on 2 masks. It may be a Dallas Cowboy star. But the jacket, we kind of know what kind of jacket it already is, though, right? Well, a lot of people are talking about, Dallas Cowboys, right? A lot of people are talking about the Dallas Cowboys. So yes, I think if it's anything, it would be a Converse. And if you look, let me see here one second. Converse is very popular, right? One second. Are these Converse? Those are Converse, aren't they? Those are Adidas, I'm pretty sure. What's in the darn star? I can't see it. I'm not really convinced either way, to be honest with you. I was trying to look for the Converse zip up jacket yesterday. The Converse has a circle around the star. Yeah, I don't think it's Dallas Cowboy anything. I'm not even convinced it's a star, to be honest. Oh, here it is. Look here. Let me show you this. This is the picture I was looking for. Finally found it. Did y'all see this? Let me make it bigger. Did y'all see this right here? Hello, Miss Kelsey. Good to see you. Becky Rude. I thought the star on the jacket was debunked a long time ago. I don't know. I mean, I'm not putting my eggs in one basket either way. 100% a star. Does it look like Dallas Cowboy star? I don't think so. What's this though? That doesn't look like. Where does that X even go on? What is it? It doesn't look like it's part of the. Look at that. To me, it doesn't look like part of the backpack or the shirt. Looks almost like it's just put there. Yeah. Oh, it's a clip on the backpack, I think. Okay. That's an X. It's a clip on the backpack strap. Maybe that's what it could be. Yeah, some lady months ago mentioned that that star, she thought it was a trash company. Chest strap. Gotcha. Under Armour brand or Hurley brand. Sometimes you have a strap that clips across the upper chest. You have them on ski backpacks. Well, don't I just look so athletic to you guys? Yeah. That would appear as a star on the jacket. Oh. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So, I think a lot of people, okay, help me out here. A lot of people were talking about last night about dispatch or something. I kept getting a lot of text and a lot of emails about some dispatch or something. Does anyone know what they're talking about? Is it just, are they talking about the dispatch that I talked about a long time ago that I played? Thank you, Kay. How you doing? Good to see you, Miss Kay. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you so much, Kay. How you doing, girlie? Good to see you. Appreciate you. Thank you, love. Oh, Joan, I'm sorry I missed that earlier. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Joan, rather. Appreciate you, love. Thank you again, Kay. Appreciate you. The blue car. The dispatch, yeah. Why is it coming around again? Like, I played this. I mean, I had the file a long ass time ago. I don't know why it's coming back up again though, but hey, let me look at this. Dispatch audio from TBX Unfiltered did last night, 8/11. The audio is minutes after the family called 911 on 21. Why does it say that Nancy was last seen at Skyline Drive in Campbell? Her address is 5820. Okay, her home. That intersection, there are anywhere from 1.3 to 1.7 miles from each other, 5 to 6 minutes on car, depending on what route you use. Map below of 3 different routes from those 2 locations. Also last seen at 12:15, yet she was reported. Yeah, I think this is very preliminary. And
all units going to copy a safe alert. It's going to be authority from Pima County Sheriff's Office, last seen at Skyline Drive in Campbell. Occurred on yesterday's date at 12:15 hours. Subject's last name will be Guthrie, first of Nancy. Date of birth 1/27 of 1942. 84-year-old white female, 5'4", 150, brown and blue. Last name wearing unknown clothing description. Subject was not seen at church and family went to the residence, and subject was not at home. All personal belongings, including a 1021 and wallet and vehicle, were still there. Subject is nowhere to be found. Subject suffers from limited mobility and has medication scheduled to follow up.
And listen, and you got to give Annie and Tommaso the credit here, right? You got to give them the credit here because, you know, they said right here with what they told the dispatch, she suffers from limited mobility. So why was Sheriff Doofy, why was he thinking that she walked away even still after that? I think going over things again is good sometimes. Or absolutely, Mama Styles. I have covered cases, Summer Wells case, Sebastian Rogers, done Summer Wells' case for 5 years. I've listened to interviews 1,000 times, and one day something will hit me. I think it just depends on the frame of mind you're in that day and the way you listen to it. It'll just hit you. Going back to the first few days and giving things a fresh look is important. It's very important. I mean, police do it every single day, right? They fresh eyes, or just going back.
Needs daily. If located, check code 20 and contact Pima County Sheriff's Office. Again, last seen at Skyline and Campbell in Tucson, and a safe alert at 12:35.
Okay. So there's that. Let me wait. Why is it not working? Let me see here. Okay. All right, let's go pull this up now. dispatch because they are talking about a Chevy Malibu as a car in question on Nancy Guthrie case. Yeah, but well, we know who lives on Campbell. We know who lives on Campbell for sure, right? Want to go. What else should we do next before we get into the other stuff? Also, did y'all see Newsweek? From what I understand, they did a exclusive interview. I think it's just a print interview with Carlos. We might go over here in a little bit, but we'll just do it right now. He says, quote, I want to see the search. Ooh, it just went out. I hope my internet just didn't go out. Oh, shit. I might be glitchy for a second, guys. Let me refresh this. Okay, so Carlos is saying something very interesting. And he's still saying, quote, I want to see the search warrant affidavit that was used in order to obtain the search warrant that led to the arrest and the search of his family home. Apologize, that's his attorney. Showalter told Newsweek, quote, I want to read how it came to pass that they went after Carlos, what was their purported evidence was, and what they told the judge in order to get the search warrant. And he has the right to know, right? Seems like... Yeah, mods, can y'all drop my email address or text phone number there? So they still have not given Carlos that. And a lot of times they won't tell you everything because if you're still a suspect, they don't want you to potentially, destroy evidence or something as well. Carlos does not know. Sure doesn't. Look at this. He doesn't. Right here. Exclusive. Nancy Guthrie, person of interest, demands answers. Came out today. The lawyer for the man detained in the investigation of the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie is demanding to see a sealed evidence that led investigators to search his family's home and hold him for hours without being charged. Carlos, who's 36, was detained by the Pima County Sheriff deputies in February as authorities investigate the disappearance of Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of the Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. He was released around 8 hours without charges. 6 months later, the circumstances that led investigators to the delivery driver, Carlos, remains unclear. His attorney, Jesse Showalter, told Newsweek that is precisely the problem. Quote, I want to see the search warrant affidavit that was used in order to obtain the search warrant that led to the arrest of the search of his family home, Showalter told Newsweek. Quote, I want to read how it came to pass that they went after Carlos, what their purported evidence was, and what they told the judge in order to get the search warrant. Showalter added that months later, the search warrant remains, quote, under seal. Under seal. Never gave him probable cause. I wonder if they even gave him an inventory sheet with stuff they took out. I think law enforcement can get a search warrant if they have probable cause for the search. The judge can issue one really fast. Yeah, they can, but you've got to have, if their probable cause was very weak, like Carlos was delivering packages that night and he was in the area and that's how you got that, that's not going to be good for Pima County. And he'll probably, which I think he is already, suing the socks off of him. I don't know. I'd like to know too. I've never thought Carlos was involved. Luke's mother said they didn't tell her what they took out of their house. She didn't know. So maybe she's telling the truth. They're supposed to give you an inventory sheet. But anyway, he says, quote, whatever evidence supposedly existed for the arrest and for the search is secret, end quote. He said. Showalter added that he does not yet know whether the evidence behind the warrant will become public. Quote, that will be part of the litigation, he said. I don't know if it'll be made public because often what happens to these kinds of cases is the sheriff would try to continue to keep it protected under a protective order. My hope is that it will, meaning he wants it to come public. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos has defended the investigation, saying investigators presented evidence to a judge and received authorization to execute the warrant. Quote, we have information that made us believe that there was a potential that Nancy's there, and there's a potential the bad guy, or there's a potential the bad guy was there, end quote. Nano said last month, quote, that evidence is presented to the judge that says, quote, yelp, go get him, end quote. He's so dumb. Damn, he's dumb. But he declined to share what the evidence or information was. Carlos and the members of his family have filed a notice of claims seeking a total of $3.25 million from the Pima County Sheriff's authorities, a prosecutor to a potential lawsuit. According to the claim, Carlos is seeking $2.5 million, while $500,000 is sought for Carlos's brother-in-law, Daniel Maddox, and approximately $250,000 for his mother-in-law and the homeowner, Josephina Maddox. The claim alleges wrongful arrest and search, alleging that Carlos was arrested at GUNPOINT and held for approximately 78 hours without probable cause. Showalter said the county has 60 days to respond of the notice of claim filed July 27th before the legal team can move forward with the filing. Now, you are absolutely right. Like, they are only allowed to keep you in, they're only allowed to hold you for so long, either arrest you or let you go. And that can get, otherwise you're essentially kidnapped. Themselves, they just needed probable cause. It does not mean guilt. He was detained. He was not charged. He wasn't, but this is the thing. They did the same, and listen, I'm really trying to be extremely fair here. They did the same to Tommaso and Annie's home, right? They went in, they took things out, all of that, but they, according to the sheriff, cleared them, right? They have not cleared Carlos. And it's like, why can't you clear Carlos, but you can clear the family? You know what I mean? Because you got to know that this big of a case is cast a big light on Carlos and his family, right? People suspicious, or it could affect his job, his income, all of that. Clippy, thank you so much for the 100, babe. Appreciate you. Good to see you, my dear. It feels like Pima County is in the doghouse. They might be. But I thought that was interesting. Wanted to show you that. Okay. Brian did something very interesting, and I've got some comments on it before we get into some other stuff here about the home. Look at that. It's a beautiful property. It's Doofy who knows why he does anything. I know. Yes, guys, please hit that thumbs up button or double tap that screen if you're on the mobile.
Who they're looking for. They know who these
Double
people
tap.
are. They know that it's the same agents who are out there initially.
Listen to this.
And what's interesting is I'm told that the FBI agents were in an area kind of behind Nancy's house. And if you look at Google Earth here, you can see what I'm talking about. There's almost like I don't want to call it an alley, but that's kind of.
So this was kind of like a little road. They called it like a path or a road that was, it's kind of like behind Nancy's house. And I always think about, on down here, you can't see it in this photo, but the guy with the dogs and the cameras, with his dogs barking around that time. Darlene, thank you so much, babe. Appreciate you. Stay hydrated. Thank you, babe. Good to see you. Appreciate the support. Utility road. Yeah. Utility road. Exactly. Okay, here we go.
Kind of the first word that comes to mind, but there's like a dirt sort of driveway, but it's like a public, it's kind of like an alley that goes in an area sort of in the vicinity of the land behind Nancy's house. And one of the neighbors was telling me that she saw an FBI agent back in that area. I've been back behind Nancy's house, and I at one point I got permission from one of the neighbors.
I mean, I'm not used to Arizona or anything, but I wouldn't want to walk in the middle of the night. I don't care if I had a flashlight or not, because aren't the snakes out there at night when it cools down and stuff?
To go back there. There's a lot of open land behind her house, and it's kind of hard to describe unless you see it. I'm going to put some of this video up from when I was walking around back there, but you can walk around back there. I mean, it's a little treacherous because there's a lot of cactuses and there's rocks.
Like he almost
But
tripped.
you can walk in between them and kind of get around. And even some of the neighbors have said to me that, when their kids were young, they would like all run around back there and sneak around back there and get to each other's houses kind of through these back little pathways. It would be difficult at night. It's very, very dark, but it is interesting that it seems the FBI is once again looking and interested.
Because there's like so many rocks you could trip over and all that. Nancy, there's just no fucking way she could do
in that area behind Nancy's house. One of the reasons I'm told could be because of the monsoons. There's been a lot of rain there this time of year. There's like little waterways that form this time of year that are not there at other times when it's not the rainy season, and so evidence could have been moved around, that kind of thing. I'm told that's one of the reasons they may have been looking back there. There's also the possibility that they think whoever did this may have left through the back. We know those back doors were
Now, see, Brian says right here, may have left through the back. And I just don't see that. Because they had to take Nancy out, right? There's no way in hell they drug her or carried her or she walked through the backyard. There's just no way. I mean, she had to get out of there with some type of car or some type of vehicle, some type of transportation. But what? But why the blood at the front? Exactly. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Snakes seek the heat, but just the vegetation alone. Yikes. Yeah. Depends on where the car is more than one person. I just can't see it. I just can't see that. Because you got to remember, people do what is easiest, what is most convenient. It's human nature for them to do, right? So they're going to take the path of least resistance without also getting caught, right? Why were the back door and the back gate propped open? Yes. Nancy went through the front. Agree. Yeah, back door. Hold on. Let's do a poll. Do you think Nancy was taken out of front door, back door? Okay, so what you'll do is you'll put a 1 or a 2 in the chat. 1 if you think it's the front door she was taken out of. Put a 2 if you think the back door she was taken out of. There is no right or wrong answer because at the end of the day, we don't truly know. You just put a 1 or 2, it'll automatically add it to the the poll. I just can't see, in my opinion, I just can't see them taking her out the back door. And also, how would the blood have gotten up front and the porch guy up front? I think they pulled right up there. I think they pulled right up to where, like, the sidewalk where the steps go down, and they put her in. I'm never going to be 100% certain until it actually comes out of the front door was locked, because if so, I'm just confused. Why is this blood on the front? Why was the back gate and the back door open? Okay, do you guys remember when there was like some, it almost looked like a dolly or something was in the gravel, but then I also remember, like, you're at the front of the house, like you're standing on the porch, and you go to the you go to the sidewalk. Toward the right, the FBI. Let me show you. Let me make it bigger here. Toward the right, so the FBI, they were looking like here in the yard as well. They were really looking in that place really heavily. And over here is that, little road, if you will. So could they have went out and then went right? To me, that just seems like, because it's really hard to move a body. It's really hard. It's not easy. Not easy at all. Hey, PGH, thank you again, babe. You're very sweet, PGH. Please hit the like button. I want a chicken party, please. How you doing? Yes, we want a chicken party. Come on, 1,000 likes, please. It's free. Please for the pearls. Thank you so much, PGH. Yes, hit that thumbs up button or double tap the screen, whichever feed that you're on. As long as we get 1,000 combined, we will have a chicken party. Why would A&T even go to the house if the back doors were propped open? They should have stayed out and called. I don't blame them for going in. I think it's something that most of us would do. At that point, you don't know until you know. You know what I mean? Sometimes people open up their doors and air out the house or whatever, and you just never know. So I don't blame them for that. If you prop something open, that means you're holding it open to get something through the door. Generally, yeah. Or sometimes you might prop something open to allow, like if a door automatically locks or whatever, you can do that too. So the person that may not have a key or whatever to get in as well. But generally, you're right, yes. What if A&T propped the doors open for deception? Anything is possible. I think Brian was saying that the empty house could be accessed from the back. Yes, I was talking about this. There's a house right there to the right that's for sale from the back, and Nancy's property could be observed from back there. They're not that necessarily took her out that way. It makes me wonder again, because of the time frame of that neighbor's dog barking. Were they in the house there that is nobody lives in, it's for sale? The backyard, it's kind of got like this, it's got like this fence up as well, so you could be watching and not even know someone's watching you. Donna, thank you for 20 months. Wow, what a legend. Appreciate you very much, Miss Donna. Good to see you. Thank you. Just say, Julie, thank you for the thumbs up. You little rabbit. So cute. Is that a lion head rabbit? Love rabbits. Good to see you. Thank you so much, my dear. Oh my, I just discovered I'm a pearl. How you doing? Yay. Good to see you, love. So there's no blood in the house. Did Nancy only bleed at the front door? Seems that way from what we know. Could porch guy have been a decoy while Nancy was taken out the back? I mean, I guess anything is possible, but I don't think that's probable. I in my opinion, I don't. Why do I say that? Because porch guy seems like he was there on the 11th, dressed pretty much identical to what he was the night Nancy was abducted. So I don't think he's a decoy. A lot of people do, but I don't see it, in my opinion. The fact that they didn't take any of the mats makes anything possible because so many points of entry were apparently not processed. Agree. Just want to say this is an excellent channel. The tone of conversation is perfect. Thank you, Inspecting Gadgets. I appreciate that. That means more than you know. Thank you so much. Explain the blood on the front door if she was taken through the back. I agree. I heard that they found blood on the inside of the home as well. I've heard that as well, but I can't say either way. You know what I mean? Thank you, Linda. Appreciate you very much, my dear. Really do. Okay, let's continue with this.
Propped open from what we've been told. So before I get to my conversation with Maureen, I want to play for you guys when I was back behind Nancy's house, and this is over a month ago. And again, I got permission from one of the neighbors to be there, just so you know, it was on his land. But I was able to get a really good look at the back of the house.
Thank you,
which
Kels.
I think is interesting to talk about and show you guys again, because of the FBI agents being back there again just within the last couple of weeks. And when I get into this conversation with Maureen, you'll have a better idea of what I'm talking about if I kind of show you this video again. So I want to play this for you just so you can get a visual again of what the back of Nancy's house looks like. All right, I'm going to walk up closer here.
Thank you, 2
yes, I
dozen
have
roses,
permission
19
to
months.
be back here, just so you guys know.
Thank you so much, Kelsey, for that. I appreciate you. 2 dozen roses. Thank you for 19 months. You're a legend. In my opinion, I still think the blood was staged by using a big turkey. I mean, like a baster syringe from a restaurant. Anything is possible. I don't think that's probable. Just in my opinion, I don't feel like that's probable. But you just never know. Thank you, Catherine. Good to see you. Oh, thank you again, Catherine. Appreciate you very much. It was proven to be Nancy's blood on the porch. Absolutely was. Absolutely, yes.
I've kind of gotten to know a lot of the neighbors, so.
Thank you, Catherine.
And I'm not going to go. You see, there's these private property signs, so I'm obviously not going to cross onto Nancy's property, and I want to be respectful in that way. But this is.
I mean, this would be very easy to hop right over. Right? I mean, look at that. That's not high at all, right? At all. Very easy for them to get through there.
Again, it's just kind of surreal to be back here because this is the closest that, I mean, I've only seen it from the drone video, but this is the closest I've been able to get to Nancy's backyard. This is obviously her pool area here. You can see that these cameras were put up, which we saw on the drone.
Yeah, they came and put those
cameras, I believe, are new since, remember we saw people come and put cameras up after everything went down.
I wonder what that room is right there. Does anyone know what that room is? Where that little window is right there? That's crazy. A star on one image of the porch guy jacket, making it seem like the video we watched was possibly 2 different times, but it is one video. There's a piece of the video missing. Yeah, it could be some of the data missing, and they didn't get that part of the video. Thank you, Starflower. 26 months? Holy moly. Thank you so very much. Could they have been taking her out the front, but she collapsed and they had to change their plan going out the back? Well, I mean, like I say, anything is possible, but is it probable? Is it probable? And you gotta think, like, because obviously when you're abducting someone, there has to be a mode of transportation, right? And they obviously had to park somewhere. I don't think that they would have just pulled right up to Nancy's house in their car. And, just slammed the door and snuck in her backyard. I think they pulled maybe some streets down or whatever. In my opinion, I feel like there may have been someone in a car waiting. And then this person, snuck up to Nancy's, did whatever, and then took her out. But he could have been alone as well. But so let's say he pulled down the street and, snuck up in the backyard and abducted Nancy, right? So he would have had, either Nancy would have had to have been dead if he, did what he did and then did something to her in the house, and then he would have had to have went and got his car and pulled it up to take her out. Or, in my opinion, there had to be another driver, right? Something like him, pulling down, like I said, them pulling down the street, him going into Nancy's, getting Nancy out of the bed or whatever struggle or, non-struggle there was. And then this person had to know to come up with the walkie-talkie, in my opinion, and say, okay, come on up. And then they pulled the vehicle up and they took her out. That's the way I think of it. Because again, I think it's highly unlikely that this person did this all by themselves. I think he was in the house alone by himself. But I don't think like he would have, taken Nancy out of the house and he would say, come on, lady, walk down the street with me and get in this car. So it kind of either tells you either Nancy was dead when she was taken out of there, or someone had to be driving, someone else. That makes the most sense to me. Yeah. I think he acted alone because it was too dark. It was too dark a crime to get 100% agreement from a partner. Well, for me, it's just like, how would he get Nancy? Because you guys know this person, in my opinion, did not just pull up into Nancy's driveway and then, like I say, walk in the back or walk up front and get Nancy and take her out to the car right there. Like, that would be, in my opinion, that would be much more risky. He didn't want, anyone to, see that he was in the driveway for 40 some minutes. So if that happened, it means he most likely, or they most likely, pulled down the street somewhere until they were ready to get her. That's what I'm wondering. Do they have video of Nancy being carried out? This would put this conversation to rest. That would, but we'll have to see. The more steps your theory requires, the more opportunities there are for something to go wrong. 1,000%. And that's the whole thing in true crime, right? Like, we want things to make sense. Our brain has to make sense. But these things are not generally, you don't want a lot of steps. You're not going to want a lot of steps to explain. I mean, like I said, things can happen, but is it probable? It's possible, but is it probable? And the more steps it requires, the more complicated things get. And people are not complicated in crime, really. It's the path of least resistance, the most efficient way possible without a bunch of steps. Because Nancy didn't disappear into thin air. At some point, somebody had to move her from the property to transportation. 1,000%, right? 1,000%. And how did that happen? I like I said, this guy is on the property the 11th without the GUN and the backpack and all that, and he's there on the early morning hours of the 1st. But where did he park? Where did he or they park prior? Like when the perpetrator first got there that day, that night, that morning, if you will. Where did he park? Because that's very important. Because that wherever he parked, if you're taking Nancy out, you've got someone's got to either pull up. You can't just say to Nancy, right? You can't just walk in her house after you've walked down the street and walk in her house and say, you stay right here, okay? I'm going to go get the car so I can take you out of here. She's going to be like, okay, deuces, 911 or whatever. So it just doesn't work for me. Just ultimately, the theory that survives is the one that can explain the blood, the doors, the vehicle, the timing, and Nancy's removal all at the same time. Yes. Yeah. At the front, some way. Yeah.
So this is the pool side, and I think there's a gate over here, right down those steps right there. You can't really see it that easily, but like right there is a gate to get into the backyard. It's so awesome when I have a sponsor and I get such positive feedback. If you make that thing, and I'm going to be careful area behind. It's all, this is what the brush, that's actually our tent right there, but this is what the area behind Nancy's house looks like. So you can see there's a lot of brush. There's some power lines right above. Very, very dark here at night. And again, I'm going to be careful of the rattlesnakes because everybody's been telling me that. But yeah, let me come around the side here. A lot of cactuses out here. I don't know what animals live in all these holes. There's little holes everywhere back here.
That would make sense.
So this is the back
Jules.
side of Nancy's house here.
I mean, this is the thing, right? Like Jules says, could have started out front. She collapsed at the door, then decided to go back through the house to back and dump her over the wall. That makes things way more complicated, right? And if they would, like for instance, dump her over a wall, you're going to have drag marks. You're going to have more blood. The blood stops right there at the sidewalk, right? It means, what it means is Nancy made it past that porch, right? Nancy made it past that porch because outside there is blood. There is blood on the sidewalk out there, not just the porch. People forget about that. There is blood on that sidewalk, which means her body was either walking, being carried, alive or otherwise, out there. Right? You don't want to make it more complicated and go back. You know what I mean? That it doesn't explain. It really complicates your theory once you have to start doing that stuff.
So there's this little patio in the back, which we've seen from the drone. There's this door here.
Yeah.
Which again, initially thought there was a sliding glass door. It's not a sliding glass door. There's this just regular door with like glass panes on the top. So that's on one side of the overhang. You can see where there's the glass window here, which a lot of people thought was a sliding glass door. It's really a beautiful backyard. And then there's another door.
I mean, this backyard would be so great for entertaining of the evening, wouldn't it? I mean, it's just a perfect entertainment backyard. Thank you, Patty, for the clutch. I appreciate you, love. Good to see you. Let's see here. See something, say something. Thank you for the gold coin. Appreciate you, love. Thank you so much.
With a screen right here on this edge of the...
We know where this takes us
on this side of the outdoor area. I'm told that that screen was propped open. And then in the Savannah interview, she said that...
Now, hold on. Let me back that up. I want to show you. So this screen right here was propped open, right? And down here where the other door is next to the garage, that light was torn off. So it seems like they're working on, this side of the house right there.
And then in the Savannah interview, she said that the door, plural, were propped open. But I'm told that screen right there was propped open.
So was there one or was there two doors actually?
So this is the outdoor area here in the back. Again, it's really just a beautiful house. I keep thinking about the fact that she lived here since the 1970s and all the memories that Savannah must have in the backyard. And then there's another, this is the casita over here. And there's obviously, you can't see it through the brush, there's obviously a door into the casita, which is like a little guest house, which is next door. So, and again, I have permission to be back here. It is kind of weird being in the back. I'm not really in her backyard, I'm in someone else's backyard, but it's just strange to get this vantage point from the back. And again, this is what it looks like. There's just a ton of like wooded area back here.
I hope he walks. Yeah. So yeah, good.
That
good. Keep going.
You can walk through. There's like little trails. It's not like in Florida where there's.
See over here to the left, past her pool and stuff. This is where her bedroom. That's where her bedroom is. Oh my goodness, guys! Thank you so much, PGH. Thank you again, honey, for gifting a pearl necklace. Appreciate you very much. You're very sweet. If you receive that, make sure you give our PGH a big thank you. Thank you, guys. You guys are so kind. Sesame, thank you for the clutch. Appreciate you. Michelle, thank you for the gold coin. Sesame, thank you for the sparkles again. And Share Cares, thank you for the floating heart. Appreciate you, love. Very kind. The gate and one back door was propped open. Yeah, Savannah made it seem like there were two, but, maybe there was just one.
Swamp or there's forest, it's really thick, it's hard to get through. I mean, you can walk around back here. You will see a ton of cactuses and you could stick yourself. I mean, everything has thorns out here.
Big thorns, big thorns.
But it technically is, walkable. And they did put these no trespassing signs up all around the house. So again, I'm not gonna get too close. But even from this distance, you can see.
So this is the area that they said is like the kind of like the trail area.
Quite a bit, the side of the house here. So that's what the back of Nancy's house looks like. I want to get into my conversation now with Maureen O'Connell about this and also about some other developments that
Deborah says, they came through the back door, propped the doors open. Something happened with Nancy and they decided to take her out the front instead, bleeding instead of the back. Change of plan, maybe, Justin. It's very, very possible. My question is, my question is, right? Let's say the plan was to initially take her out of the back door, right? Where was the mode of transportation? If they originally had her going to take her out the back door, then that means the mode of transportation would have had to have been closer to the back, right? One of those houses. They could have pulled in at that house that was for sale there. Like I said, it could be just on the street on the side of the road, anywhere. But, if the plan went bad, for instance, and they were going to take her out the back, that means something changed. And if you're going to then take her out the front, then that means that vehicle has to move, most likely, right? Because you're not going to walk her down the street. She's incapable of walking down the street, right? Plus, I don't think, it would be very suspicious if one guy or two guys was wearing a mask and had a pew-pew between their legs, would, be carrying or holding a 84-year-old woman if someone passed, right? So I think that they did pull up to the front, in my opinion. Thank you again, See Something, for the thumbs up, babe. Appreciate you very much. Could they have taken her out the front and used the back to remove items like tarps, the way that they don't have to touch the doorknobs? Well, they had gloves on. You know what I mean? They had gloves on, so it doesn't really matter per se. In this case, the most common explanations are made to look like something that makes absolutely no sense, which points to staging to confuse, in my opinion. Perhaps. Thank you so much. And the jam and See Something. Appreciate you. My theory is that Nancy was being forced out of the house. She tried to fight back and she got knocked out. She bled from being knocked out. Then she was carried down to the front walk to the vehicle. Her poor skin, it was very, very thin. It was very thin. And I could see, her just barely dinging herself and would bleed. But I can also see where they may have, hit her to make her be quiet or whatever. Thank you again, See Something. Appreciate it, love. Isn't there side access out the back that goes to her driveway? ? Side access through the back. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. If those doors were left propped open all early morning hours till Annie supposedly got there, there would have seen birds and wildlife in there like javelinas do. Maybe. Just the temperature inside, right? Think about, they should be able to see how long even the doors would have been open, because what her thermostat was set to, what the temperature was inside versus what the temperature was outside as well. Hey Jackie, good to see you, my friend.
I've learned about and get her take now that we're now more than 6 months.
Maureen makes some really good
points.
Maureen,
here. Thank you for joining me. It's nice to see you, and congratulations again on your podcast, Big City Crime. I've been checking it out. You guys are doing a great job. So thank you for joining me again.
Thank you, and it's nice to see you. And it's been way too long. I'm not happy about how long it's been, but we've both been swamped. So
I've missed you, but I see you on YouTube now, so it's like I get my Maureen fix.
Yep.
The first thing I wanted to ask you about with Nancy Guthrie is I was just talking yesterday to one of the neighbors who lives nearby, and I've seen some other reporting about this, that FBI agents were back out there again, and she knew for sure.
Yes, Becky. Yes. My 99-year-old mother weighed 110 pounds when she was in her final days, and I can tell you that 110 pounds was a lot to handle just getting her into her wheelchair. I just can't describe to you unless you've been like a caregiver, a health worker, or in my case, like working at a funeral home and hospice. A body is much different. It is much different to move a body that's 110 or 150 or 200 pounds. It's totally different. It's truly, dead weight. Yes. Maybe we've been asking the wrong questions instead of the front or back door. Maybe it's what was the original plan and what happened that forced them to change it. Oh, but that's the thing. We don't even know if they changed it, right? We don't even know if they changed it. Maybe they had something in the backyard that they needed to go back and get, and they just did that so they could go in and out quickly. You know what I mean? We just really don't know.
Sure that it was FBI because she actually recognized one of the guys who came to her door to talk to her within the last couple of weeks. And she said they were specifically looking around. There's a kind of like, I don't know what the right word is.
Nancy weighed, 140 pounds? I can't remember. 160?
It's not an alley, but there's a kind of like a dirt road that goes back in an area behind Nancy's house, in between two houses. And that she saw them specifically on that road. What should we make of that?
50. Thank you, Sammy.
Well, it sounds like they're going over everything again with a fresh set of eyes, which is really important. It's good to do. It's going to be helpful. They may have something in mind where they're trying to check out or verify whether or not what the reporting party said could have happened back there.
Now, listen to that. The reporting party. Who's the reporting party? We know who the reporting party was, right?
And it's also really good to familiarize yourself completely with the area that surrounds a crime scene like this, because when you're going over stuff and you're reading older reports or reports that were completed in the past, if you have a really solid understanding of what the topography looks like, what the area is like, how high the pony walls are, or is it a 6-foot wall, so that if someone tells you or someone has said in a statement that, oh yeah, we walked over there, stepped over the back wall and walked right in, you can stand back there as you did yourself on your podcast, I remember. And I think you even said, this wall is not as high as I thought it was. But you also came up with all kinds of good information, Brian. Like, this is not an area where you could just walk someone through in the pitch dark. It's you're going to trip, you're going to cut yourself, you're going to get caught on
1,000%.
Cacti. It's not like a walk in the park, so to speak.
And also the monsoons. I was back in Tucson like a week ago, and there were like thunderstorms. Was it different than when I had been there last time? They have like thunderstorms in the summer and really, really heavy rains. When you're looking for evidence, I mean, could that impact things? Could that be a reason that they're going back out there?
Yeah, because water flows, downhill or in a relatively typical or
path of least resistance,
in a way that you can anticipate. And there's often a choke point or an area where all that water will pool. It's a good place to go and look for evidence, especially if they're looking for clothing, if they knew what she was wearing or anything like that. So if it was a pink nightgown and they find a pink piece of cloth, it's worth looking into. It will also take a very vast area, and the water will cause whatever is on top to wash in one direction. That's basically what I was trying to say earlier. But so it is a good place. By a choke point, I mean it's an area where things come together. You can have a choke point when it comes to traffic. Like, for example, going in and out of Nancy's house, there's really only 2 choke points that, if you were to sit on surveillance or you'd be looking at those cameras, you'd be looking at these 2 different areas, that type of thing.
Just a quick question, guys. When you, when let's say this, and just like Maureen said, there's only really 2 ways you can go when you're outside to get Nancy out of that neighborhood. Just an opinion. Do you guys think the perpetrator went left, or do you think they went right? Let me know in the comments. You think they went left or right? I'll tell you the way I think that they went in a second here. Thank you, Terry, for the clutch, love. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Thank you, love. There was a huge dust storm in Arizona lately, too. I am praying that the dust blew something out. Open in the case, use evidence in the case. Yeah. You never know. You never know. You think they went right, left, right, left, right, left. Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. I just can't get it out of my mind. The common denominator in the cases are following is family. It's always family. Many times it is. Right, right, left, left, right, 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 left. I feel like they went left, in my opinion. You just don't know. Kathy Lee podcast made my eyebrows. Okay, I'll look at that, Rafi. Thank you so much. He took the camera down at 147 before he got inside. Indicates his intention was always to go out the front. You know, it would be very interesting. I wish we had more surveillance that this guy, like, you remember Brian speaking to the neighbor that lives behind the house, the lady who was at her bathroom, like that weird guy that was there around the 11th. Was he, you know, staking out the kind of the backyard, making that plan of should we go through the backyard? Should we go to the front yard? Don't know. They always say the people that unalive you are your friends and family, and usually around holidays. In this case, it was a birthday. Yeah, she had just had her birthday. She did. I don't know, though. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. They had to go right to avoid cameras until main road with flocks. You mean like the flock cameras left would have registered immediately at the Circle K? No, right. If you went out, like you're going out, if you went right, that would have taken to the Circle K. I think they went left, in my opinion. If they had to carry Nancy, then the route they chose suddenly matters even more because distance, obstacles, fences, and visibility all become bigger risk. Yes. If she was alive, would be easier because she's alive, even though she's pretty immobile. But if she is dead, it's going to create, you're going to have to get as close as possible. Here's the question that keeps getting stronger. When was the vehicle and which direction gave them the fastest, cleanest way to reach it? Yeah. And what's also interesting is people who, for instance, this guy was clearly planning this weeks, up to 3+ weeks in advance. Apparently, he didn't have his phone on, probably, whenever he was there weeks prior. Many times, suspects will, before the crime, when they're just staking out the place and making their plan or whatever, they'll keep their phones on. They forget about that. They think, well, I'm not a suspect right now, so, they just keep their phone on, or whatever. Seemingly, like this guy, his phone was off then. So I'm sure, like, they went and looked at cameras in, the past weeks before this happened to Nancy. Why don't they want us to know the way she got taken out overly possessive? With the info, they should release more. Nanos, one word.
So the evidence
Nanos.
could be rolling in one direction, and that could be very beneficial to the team.
I thought of you the other day when that Wall Street Journal story came out, that deep dive into the investigation, and a lot of it.
Well,
I was
GC says, what doesn't hit right with me is that if the plan all along was to take her for ransom, why did they take so long in the house? Normally it's get in and out fast. It normally is. And this was 40 some minutes, but I always say the 40 some minutes doesn't mean they were in the house, right? It means they were around the house, right? Whether that's taking doorbells, they obviously had to destroy that light as well, getting in the house, but they were on the property for 40 some minutes, which is still a long time. I heard that even if the phone was put into airplane mode, that the signal can still be detected. It depends. iPhones, sometimes you can, but it's not as easy as you would think. That would have showed proof of life. Yeah. But, even Sheriff Doofy, he said something the other day. He's like, I still think, we don't have any proof that she's dead. And I'm like, well, the letter says, sorry, she died. Sorry, she died. But it makes me think, going back, that I don't even think that the police have this guy or guys taking her or her walking out, in my opinion. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. Maybe that's why they thought she was alive for a minute, because maybe they saw them or him taking her out. But I don't think they even have that, because the FBI is they've been really frustrated because they said, we could have gotten more if Sheriff Nanos would have, been more cooperative, which again, they wouldn't even have this, because Sheriff Nanos said, we can't get it from Google. He didn't even try. They wouldn't have that if the FBI hadn't got it. But they destroyed the one floodlight, but not the one that was directly by the back door. Wild. I spoke about that the other night, Giggle. Why that floodlight? Why that one floodlight? People only do things for a reason. What makes that one floodlight? Because there's other floodlights in the backyard. That she's got the little hanging lights throughout the backyard too. I'm like, I guess those weren't on, but why one floodlight? Yeah, I don't think the ransom letters are legit. Why do all this planning and fumbles the ransom notes? I do think the two notes are from the perp, somebody who knows at least. But I don't think that they were necessarily for ransom.
Like 80% of it was stuff that you and I had talked about, that we heard about and figured out kind of early on, and they were just kind of going back through it all again. But there were a couple new things that stood out to me that I didn't know. And one, the thing that made me think of you, because we talked so much about the blood that was found in the front, is the Wall Street Journal reported that initially the deputies who responded thought that it was old blood, like thought that Nancy had a nosebleed, and that it was like dry blood and that it had nothing to do with her.
Yeah, I think that's camera said person seen at 2:12 a.m. The pacemaker disconnected at 2:26 a.m. So 14 minutes inside. It doesn't necessarily mean 14 minutes. It's probably around that, but that's when the pacemaker would have disconnected, that she could have been out in the yard at that point, right? It just means it was far enough that it disconnected. Maybe switch inside and the lights wasn't motion activated. The floodlights, they were definitely, they had the motion sensor on them. I wonder if some of the lights were wired and some solar. If they turned off power, the wired lights would be off when not the solar lights. I think that they were
disappearance, that it was like from another event, an innocent event. I don't know why that really stuck with me, because it was so much blood. Like, I guess I'm just trying to get into the mind of an investigator. If you showed up out there, wouldn't you have thought that it was like something that may have had to do with her being gone?
Well, when you consider that,
listen to this,
they haven't had any kidnappings or murders in a very, very, very long time. And I think whatever that number was, over 90% of calls like this end up being someone that just walked off, especially when she's an elderly person. But once the other stuff started coming together, so I could see initially that they would be like, this could be something else, because with all that cacti around her, she could easily get cut. She was on blood thinners. You can bleed like you can't believe when you're in that type of situation. However, when you start adding together the other things that were unfolding in real time, like the information from the family, if in fact the family told her, I mean, we heard Savannah say that her mom could barely make it to the down to the mailbox, but are we sure that Tommaso and Annie said that to the police? If they said that to the police, and that's in their written statements, and that's something that will hopefully eventually come out, then yeah, now it's starting to build. Then you get to the back door, and then you see the 2 potted plants and the doors propped open. Now it's to every ratchet this up one notch. Then her car's there. Then you see that her Apple Watch is at the end of the bed, and you know, her bed isn't made.
So it's like how, like Maureen is saying here, it's these little, it's never just one thing in a crime, right? That you would say, for instance, like when you're blaming, you know, if you think someone did it, one thing may never really make sense in the box, but it's a layer of multiple little things that makes the bigger picture. This is so darn sad. I'm just sickened by the fact that law enforcement has no leads and no suspects. I'm just sickened at this crime. God help. I hope they have some leads. With all the vacant houses around, there's who to say they didn't move her to one of the houses, then moved her later in the day. They probably got her out of there really quickly. Is it possible? Yes, but I think like if someone would have broke in one of the houses, they would have probably known that. However, I do think it's very possible they could have been like in one of the backyards of one of the vacant houses or the homes for sale. I'm still here. Can you see me? Hello.
Often leave the house without making her bed? The answer is no. So you see these things just start to build and build and build. And it should have happened in relatively quick succession that they said, you know what? Something's going on here. At that point, they should have put up the yellow tape in a very large area. If they thought...
Yeah. I mean, think of that. That's a very, very good point, right? Think of that. They should, like, not only should they have taped off the yard, but they should have taped off the entire, that area in the back, because there could have been evidence back there, but everyone was fucking walking everywhere. The mastermind could have also convinced it was only going to be kidnapped, knowing full well he's going to eliminate. Maybe, but why?
As soon as they thought there was foul play, they should have locked it down.
We're also hearing now that there's some new people coming into the investigation, new detectives being cycled in, a fresh set of eyes. You and I were texting about that the other day. Is that important?
If you have no picture, sometimes YouTube will do that. Just exit completely out and come straight back. Sometimes you can just hear and it'll just be like a black screen. It does that sometimes. They should let the housekeeper look around to see if there's any abnormalities.
Important? I mean, when you're working on an investigation, and from what I've been told, unfortunately, they've made progress because they're going through the tips, but I don't think they're right now any closer to a specific person or anything like that. Can that be helpful when you get just someone brand new that comes in with a fresh set of eyes, or can that be frustrating if you're already working on the case because it's someone who doesn't know anything?
And the door. Take the damn door.
Both. But the fact of the matter is, like, even in the FBI, probably especially in the FBI, because we rotate around a lot. So you end up, when a person rotates off your squad, they divvy up those cases amongst the other investigators on that squad. So you'll end up with an old case. You always have at least one old, what we would call like an old dog, where this case, and it wouldn't be something like this. I think something like this is unique in that your whole office potentially could be focused on this. Could be trying to help with this. So could it be frustrating? Yes. Is it good to have a new set of eyes? Yes, because new people have new skill sets. You might be a guy that's really good at electronics.
100%.
You might be someone that's unbelievable at, like, if you work narcotics and stuff, like some of these.
Do I think she was alive when she left the house? I think that she might have been alive when she left the house, but if she was, I don't think she was alive very long after she left the house. I don't think it was a heart attack and she just died on her own, in my opinion. I think she we looked over the letter the other day, and the first letter, they made it very clear, we will unalive her if you don't give us the money. And I think the second letter said she died very quickly afterwards. What happened to the camera that was busted? Was that just left on the ground, or did the porch guy take it, or Ellie? Do you mean the doorbell camera, Ratui? The doorbell camera? It's very interesting. Like if it's a doorbell camera, it clips. It's got a bracket and you take it off the bracket. And if there was movement or anything, like this guy, let's say he threw it in his bag. He just threw it in the bag. That, it would still be recording if there was any sort of movement. And I would love if they have any evidence of it being in this person's bag. You might be able to hear Nancy. You might be able to hear this guy talking to another person. So, you never know. Thank you, baby kisses. You're always searching for balance. Thank you so much, fairness. I think that's what you mean by that. Thank you so much, baby kisses. Appreciate you. Love you, darling. Apparently, there were a total of 5 mats that Ellie never collected. It's crazy. What about the camera on the roof? They ended up taking that one eventually, a few days later. Why that camera? Why that light? Why that route? And why those 40 minutes? And why Nancy? Why an 84-year-old woman who was just there living her life? She lived on this earth 84 years. Why her? Maybe the first switch the mats when they put the tent up in the front door. I doubt that. Possible, but I don't think it's probable. It seems the front camera was taken. Yes. Yeah, they took the front camera. Unfortunately, even if you bring in new eyes, case has been mishandled so bad that, in my opinion, best case outcome is finding her body, because I don't see anyone found guilty in this mishandled case. I think they're going to need a solid case. They are. Maybe light was broken for a while, and the random note is not from kidnappers. No, the light was broken. The light was broken. We do know that. No, they put that tent. They put that tin tent up too late. It was what, 2 weeks later, something like that, or maybe you mean 10 days. If the ransom demand was really central objective, then every extra minute on the property created more risk without creating more leverage. Very true. Every second you're there at a scene, right, and you are doing a crime, every second that you're there is potential evidence that you can be leaving, right? So that's why people get in and get out. You don't want someone to hear. You don't want someone to see. You don't want more data to be shared. And that's also why bodies are usually pretty close to the house, because they don't want to drive miles and miles and miles. That creates more data, more cameras. You could be pulled over. They don't want to be in the car with a body as well. So I think she's more closer to home, if you ask me. It's already been established that detectives in charge screwed the whole crime scene up, as they had with others before that. Oh, it just pisses me off. Sheriff Doofy. Yeah, let me just get the most unexperienced people here to deal with literally life and death. What were they doing exactly when they put up the tent? Does anyone know what they were doing? I think that they were measuring things. They didn't even take the brackets. They should have took the brackets. They should have took the door. They should have took the mat. I think on Nancy Grace's the other day, they were talking about they should have, Arizona's dusty. It's the desert. They should have taken footprints out to see if, whose shoe prints there was. They should have done that inside as well. Think about it like this. If you walk in water, you're outside, it's raining or whatever, and then you walk inside, you leave footprints, right? Like if it's on a wood floor or linoleum or tile floor, you're going to leave footprints. Those footprints still happen, even if it's not like raining outside. They can do I can't say it right now. Footprints to see who was all stepping, and they could be able to see where this person first came in the house, the pattern that they walked, if they turned around, came back, went out the front door, went out the back door, came in the back door, went in the front. Like, they could be able to tell all of that. Very dusty. That would have been prints. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anywhere you step, even if it's not wet or whatever, you are leaving prints, because there's already dirt and dust on your shoes, and there's friction. I'm sure they're looking at bank records. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think she's very kind too, in my opinion. We're taken advantage of. Yeah. Especially on a tile floor. Yeah, any hard surface, for sure.
Detectives have. These narcotics guys are scrappers. I worked narcotics for many, many years here in Los Angeles. They're some of the most resourceful detectives you can find, and they are dogged detectives. So if you get a guy like that who's got street smarts, street savvy, he's a scrapper, he's a go-getter, he's a honey badger.
Yeah.
I mean,
yep, that's a very good point, right? Powder from the gravel walking in the house. Absolutely. And think about this, like, it depends on what color floor it is and stuff, but think about walking in a gravel in a dusty area and then walking on a dark floor. You will have dust, right? As well. It's called transfer theory. That's right, Joe. Well, that makes me more confident they must have some. They have stuff. They have stuff. There's just no way that they don't have something, in my opinion. When did they bring out the video of Porch Guy? And when did they put up the tent? Because they were measuring the height of the archway. I can check on that. Give me 1 second.
And then you put him with someone that's just a technological genius. God only knows what you're going to come up with, but hopefully it's going to be something good. And as far as not knowing who the person is, they may very well have a really solid idea who the perpetrator or perpetrators are, but without
enough,
without enough evidence to actually put them away, you have to keep your mouth shut about it. You can't run your mouth. Those days are gone.
I agree.
What do you mean by run your mouth?
I mean, as a law enforcement agency, you can't say so-and-so is a person of interest and we think so.
I think that they have a person of interest. I really do. I think that they have a good idea. I think that they just don't have enough to take someone yet, in my opinion. I really do. Like I always say, you can have 10 things, but you've got to have more than enough to make sure that prosecutor says, okay, even if we have these 5 things and 15 things is going to be thrown out of court, this will be enough to put them away. So they are constantly gathering. You got to remember, law enforcement is very patient. It's not the public, right? They would rather someone walk free 5 years and them gather the stuff over time and to make sure that they're put away later. So law enforcement's very patient.
This is the case for the following reasons. You're just going to get sued. Podcasters are going to get sued, so everyone is really, really cautious, even though there may be a pretty solid general consensus as to who it is. But then again, we've seen all these cases where, like that Chandra Levy case, they thought it was the congressman for a long, long time. And then they realized it was this other offender that was in the park doing very similar things to other women.
That's a very interesting case.
Do you think, like, the 6-month mark, it seemed like a lot kind of happened within a week. You had
it really did.
Yeah, it was so quiet for a while, and then you had the reporter who released the notes. Then you had Savannah put out 2 messages, the video message and then the written message, and then you had the sheriff put out his copy of the notes, the actual notes we saw, and then sort of the ideas for what people should look for. Do you, just with all your expertise, Maureen, do you feel like we're in a moment right now? Like, are they going to drum something up?
I do. I really do. And it's interesting because, as you know,
Maureen.
Jim Fitzgerald, the retired FBI profiler and forensic linguistics expert, he has been saying from the beginning that these are the pre-incident indicators you may have seen. This is the post-incident behavior.
Yep.
That you'd likely see in a situation like this. Jim Clemente was saying the exact same thing. They were in lockstep, those two. And those two have unbelievable experience in violent crime. So I was wondering why, and I even said this on your show very early on, why is the FBI not putting out a profile? They've done it for so many big cases.
Oh my God. Thank you, Maureen. Thank you. For God's sakes. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And that is, I have said this from the rooftops, right? The FBI, listen, and people, we talk about Porch Guy being there. Well, and people's like, well, there might have been 2-3 people there. I figure, in my opinion, if they had that, or they had that, they would put out the other picture of the person. But why has the FBI not put out a profile if they truly have no idea who this person is? If they truly have no idea, put out a profile of this guy, what they believe this guy is like, which in my opinion, they don't need that to do that because they already have that. Just my opinion.
And it's been very, very helpful in the past. And lo and behold, when these notes came out on the 6-month anniversary, as you just mentioned, they came out with what appeared to be pretty much an identical set of marching orders that Fitz told us about a long time ago, where he said exactly what you should be looking for. Will this person change their appearance? Did they change their appearance shortly after Nancy disappeared? Did they leave town unexpectedly for a made-up emergency or something?
I mean, all they really put out about this guy, let me see here. Let me look at this. All they really put out this guy was they put out his video and some pictures, right? Nancy was 150 pounds, 5'4". But with this guy, they put out like a height. They don't put out an age range. What they believe his race could be, anything. Nothing. Luke did change his appearance. Yeah, Richard Allen, BG, they done that right. And state parole office, first sketch was spot on. I bet there's more video. I think there is, and I've talked about it, and you never really hear a lot of YouTubers or media talk about it. About maybe a month after Nancy went missing, there was reporting that they did get more video, but it wasn't really reported on a lot, and I don't really understand why. 150 pounds, 68 kg. Now that's lightweight to handle, if not alive, in my opinion. Oh, I don't think it is. 150 pounds is not easy to handle.
Something that couldn't be verified easily. Were they obsessed with the whole Nancy Guthrie story? But I would say there's a lot of your viewers are obsessed with this case, as I think you and I are, because it's just a real head scratcher.
Yeah, and you're right. And so much of what people are talking about now are things, I mean, not to give us a pat on the back, but are things we talked about so much, like in the first couple of months. And you mentioned 100%. Fitz. I mean, he did give this specific, he really wanted to do that episode too, where he gave a specific list of what people could be looking out for, which is now essentially what the sheriff put out 6 months later. I thought the one was interesting, and I can't remember exactly the way it was worded, but it was like someone who's...
I do. Justin, a retired sketch artist, drew a sketch months ago as what she thought the porch guy looks like without the face mask. Do you remember seeing that? Yep, I showed it. I can show it again.
Talking about the Nancy Guthrie investigation a lot, or specifically avoiding talking about it, which would be kind of true if you knew someone and like they didn't, and you were already kind of suspicious and they never wanted to talk about Nancy Guthrie. I guess that would be kind of a telltale sign.
Or you could see that guilty look on their face when you start talking about it and they just kind of turn away and I'll see you later or whatever. Why are they getting so nervous? But the thing I thought was really interesting.
Just a second.
That
we're going to come straight back to this in a second. I just wanted to show you that this is what the retired sketch artist lady says this guy looks like. Now, what in your opinion, like, does this look like a white dude? Does it look like a Hispanic, Latina, Middle Eastern, in your opinion? I kind of disagree with this person, but let me show you this. let me show you this right here. They did a video on it right here.
When it comes to hurricane season, preparations.
When it comes to hurricane season, 1 second. Hispanic, I disagree too. Yeah, I think this guy's looks younger than what she, but you know, it's hard when you see the structure.
For Nancy Guthrie.
Watch
A
this.
video showed an armed, masked person approaching the door the night she disappeared 12 days ago. There it is. A source telling CBS News.
Look at that guy. The tip of his nose. You can see the tip of his nose.
The source telling CBS News investigators found gloves about a mile away, similar to one seen worn by the suspect in the video. It's now being tested for DNA.
And today, an acclaimed Houston crime sketch artist has released a sketch in the Guthrie case. Ron Trevino is in the newsroom with the story. And Ron, why did she decide to do this?
Because she felt like she had to. This sketch has not been requested by any law enforcement. It's not an official sketch of a suspect, but Houston forensic artist Lois Gibson decided to do it on her own. We've interviewed her before about helping law enforcement in the past. She says she's basing this sketch on the masked person seen on that doorbell camera at Guthrie's home. The image is released by the FBI that shows someone in a ski mask, the person who appears to be tampering with the camera at the front door. Obviously, she only had the eyes, lips, and mustache to go on, but she decided to give it a shot.
I mean, that clearly is not Luke, right?
So you just felt compelled to do this?
I couldn't stop myself. I just couldn't stop myself. I wanted to help. I felt the pain because I've been in the room with people. The babies are kidnapped, and it makes you feel like your throat, it takes you by the throat to feel these people. It makes you feel like you're choking over what they're going through. So I wanted to help them.
As I said, we've interviewed Gibson in the past about helping law enforcement identify criminals.
I would like to see some other world-renowned sketch artist draw what they think this person could look like.
A legend in her field. She's done it for 4 decades. She retired from HPD 5 years ago. Again, this is just a Houston crime sketch artist doing this on her own. Law enforcement has not approached her, asking her to do it, so keep that in mind. But just like all of us, Lois Gibson wants Nancy Guthrie back safe at home and whoever's responsible to be brought to justice. Len and Cheryl?
Yeah, we all do. Ron, it'll be interesting to see if this goes anywhere from here. Thank you.
Yes, Raven, you're absolutely right. Yeah, so just wanted to show y'all that real quick before we go back to this right here. There's a point here.
Fitz said was, I believe it was either on your show or on one I was on with him, but he said that he does not believe that the BAU currently has a forensic linguist on board, which I was actually shocked by that statement. I didn't see it get much play, but he does not. One I was on with him, but he said that he does not believe that the BAU currently has a forensic linguist on board, which I was actually shocked by that statement. I didn't see it get much play, but did that interest you? Did you notice that?
I didn't hear that until you.
For those of you that don't know what the BAU is, it's the FBI's behavioral analysis unit. That's what that means.
Told me, but I mean, it seems kind of surprising. I mean, you were in the FBI for decades. Like, why wouldn't they? Wouldn't you expect that they would?
Because you could see, or I can imagine, a number of different cases where having a forensic linguist would.
I don't think it's fake. I don't think his mustache is fake. I think he keeps it very clean. I think he keeps his mustache very clean. I also think he probably kept it really extra neat right there. And probably really brushed. So nothing would likely fall.
Just be a brilliant tool in your toolbox, and one that you might use in a number of different areas. So to hear that they may not have one on board, I found that very interesting. And he's mentored a lot of those people that are there now, as has Jim Clemente.
Almost there, guys.
And we had Fitz's wife on.
Have a chicken party.
Natalie, I love her.
Yeah,
she is
great. So interesting.
Natalie's
She
amazing.
found in the notes, like the sentence structure and the commas, things that I would have never known. And she really believes that they're written by the same person, based on when she does that deep dive into the grammar. And when she showed me where the commas were, they were in similar places in both notes.
I agree with you. And I didn't agree with them initially that it was the same author, because the tenor and tone were so different. And one seemed like cool, whereas the second one was like soft and conciliatory and trying to, soothe someone. So I didn't think that it was the same person, but they had a very compelling argument for why it was. And I agree with you. It really did make me think, and it really brought a lot of things to light that I had not considered before that. But she's brilliant, and she's one of those people who I think Fitz is too, where just when you're talking to him, you can almost hear those wheels clicking in their brain. She's so smart. She's lovely.
With Savannah last week putting out, and the week before, the video and the message on the actual 6-month mark, do you think that will do something? Like, could that make the person feel bad and maybe send another note or open up a line of communication?
They're not talking again.
Well, I'm going to go back to another line that Fitz said, and that was, I believe, on your show, where he said, basically that whole.
Do you guys think this perpetrator will talk again? I don't think he's going to talk again. I don't think there's going to be another note that comes out at all. I don't think so, in my opinion. I think that one thing like I said, I do think the notes really come from the perp or perps who know, but I don't see this guy saying the words that it seems to me it came from a more feminine source, like a woman, and I don't think it's translated like in an app. We've already talked about that, shown you, and I certainly don't think it came from AI.
Her whole video could be distilled down to one short phrase, and that is "you won." It really was she was holding up a white flag. Savannah was, and she was saying, all right, we're done here. You got what you wanted. You got me basically just crushed and broken. So, the main thing about the other thing that really struck me was that opening line where she said,
highly likely he shaved this mustache because, look at Luke Daly. He shaved his.
We've done our part. And I was like, the only thing that makes sense to me is that there was some deal that happened that we didn't know about, where the family did in fact pay, maybe to find out where Nancy's remains are, and they got the money, and now they've gone quiet.
Yeah, that line stood out to me the most too. One interesting thing you do now, Maureen, is like you advise, now that you're retired.
I think that we've done our part is we have offered to pay you, even though you've told us that she's dead. We're still willing, and I think she says it, we're still, we're willing to pay. We're still willing to pay.
From the FBI, you advise people who are in situations where working with law enforcement and that kind of thing, and high profile people. Is there anything you think Savannah should be doing differently? I've just wondered at some point, she's been very thankful to law enforcement, even though there's clearly been some mistakes made. Does she need to apply pressure on them in a different way, do you think, at some point, or what would you recommend?
Well, we've got this guy, maybe the mustache, he grew it long enough to cover his lips just for this job. Maybe shaved is the norm. We've got him with the flashlight in his mouth, right? Doing this, right? Let me see if I can show you quickly if I have it. Quickly, I can show you that I worked on some things, and just give me a second.
I would say she's probably got a really good team working with her. I would say that she has been taking the advice of law enforcement. And the reason I hesitate to chime in on this is because I don't know what they know. And so without having all the information, like when you're in the inside and someone, a client is experiencing something very significant in their life and things are really, the wheels are really falling off the bus and quickly, having all that information is the only way.
Okay, let me show you this right here. These are in no way, shape, or form AI. These are just, I did a program that does individual. So like most cameras are 30 screenshots to 60 screenshots per second. So like one second can generate 30 to 60 photos. And this guy right here, see those lips? Now let me show you this right here. I do think this woman has this guy's lips pretty well. Look at the lips right here. Let me show you this. I can overlap it right here real quick. I think she's got his lips down pretty good. This, damn it. Let me see here. Don't do this to me. Okay, there we go. See those lips? Right there. Guy's got very full lips. Justin, I can't see you. Well, this is his lips right here. Right? This is the mask. You can see a little bit of his goatee, but this lighter right here is his lips. The sketch is giving 70 vibes. Yeah, a lot of people say that. Leslie, I'm going to be doing a lot more kick streams pretty soon. And then again, you can see his lips right here. Much full. Very full. And then that's where he's got the light. But his nose, I can always see his nose. His nose, he's got a point here in his nose. Here, you can see his lips right here. Bottom lip, mouth, top lip. Very full. Right here. Bottom lip, top lip. Again, right there as well. I sent you something more real, with more realistic hair, and also by now he'd have removed facial hair. Might have. I mean, a lot of people will, change their looks. However, sometimes people don't, because they don't want to look too suspicious as well. A lot of times people, panic and they will change their looks, but a lot of times people's like, they don't want to start changing a bunch of things because you can be like, why are you changing all those things? Just feels so staged. You think we need 110 more likes before we get a chicken party?
You can have a really good path forward. It's kind of like, your defense attorney or an attorney in any manner saying, you need to tell me everything so that I know what I'm dealing with and I can plan and plot our path forward. Mm-hmm. So without having the information that they have and the knowledge that they have, I'm going to hesitate to and pause before I say anything, but I will.
Fifi, thank you so much. Appreciate you. The FBI will take time to build a case for trial, but the family's pain increases the longer it takes. It does. It does. Everyone who talks about how, for instance, someone who they don't know where Nancy is, right? And I want them to be able to get Nancy back to where they can bury her and they can have a place where they can honor her and all of that. People say the hardest part is just not knowing where they're at, So there's that. Thank you, Fifi. Appreciate you. Thank you, Katz, for the hiding, Joel. Appreciate you, love. Good to see you. And Fantas, thank you so much for the silver star. Appreciate you, love. Justin, you ought to look into Daniel Maddox. He's also has full lips. He's the third one he was the third one involved in the raid. I've been looking into it. I have. The sketch with a crew cut or something makes more sense. Men cut their hair every 2 weeks usually. It depends. Yeah. I don't know if Daniel is suing right now.
It did sound like she was talking to someone. That message was so specific and it was written in such a way that it seemed like they knew who they were talking to. They knew who Savannah was talking to in that message.
Yeah. How much do you think the FBI is telling her? With investigations that you worked on at the 6-month mark,
I don't think they're
telling her. Do you think they're filling her in on what they know, or is there a lot they would be keeping from her?
Well, Steve Moore and I were talking about this at the very beginning. We were saying if this were your case, how much would you tell Savannah and I was saying that I probably wouldn't tell Savannah or Annie much because it's such an emotional thing. And when things are emotional, you tend to just bleed out the emotions, pardon the pun, but they just ooze out of you. And you now I might tell Cameron more than I would tell anyone else, but because he just seems far more controlled and far.
Right. If you tell someone when this is the emotional thing you could probably go through, right? And you don't want Savannah accidentally leaking something out. Her mind's probably boggled anyway with so much going on. And, we've all heard so much information in this case. We don't even know where we heard things from. And so she could potentially even leak that out. At this point, I really wouldn't be surprised if the entire porch video was done only sound. No. I don't think it's, in my opinion, a big conspiracy. Summer Breeze, thank you for the flow state, my dear. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, love. Good to see you. Truth, she would blurt out crying. Yeah.
Far less governed by.
And I agree with Maureen here. Cameron, he's, former military. He's much more composed, right? Much more composed. 86 before we get a chicken party.
Strong emotion. And that's not because he's male versus female. It's because of his training as a fighter pilot and just his the way he seems to be. He's far less emotive when it comes to his feelings, apparently. So it would depend on how that person reacts, or if they're really tough and really strong, like a real strong alpha person, and you could just say, I'm going to tell you something and it's not going to be pretty and you're not going to like it, but I want you to trust the team and we're going to do what we can to handle this. Are you good with that? Or do you think, but all in all, you're going to keep quite a bit close to the vest. It's imperative for the integrity of the investigation to keep it close, because you just don't know what a family member is going to say, because the emotions are just so high. It's just so tragic.
Is it hard to do that? Like when you've got a family that is so desperate for information?
Yes and no. I mean, sometimes it would be, sometimes it wouldn't be. Like if when people are broken and they're crying and everything, you want to do whatever you can to help them, but sometimes you just have to understand that the best way to help them is to not tell them everything, to keep the integrity of the investigation. We have to remind ourselves that the person we're working for are the victims. The victims of these crimes, and so that's.
I think he's just very reserved.
That's where our training kicks in.
I was thinking back to
Cameron's military, and Rafi says, at first I didn't, but after everything we've seen, I don't have the best feeling about Cameron. Something seems off, but of course I could be wrong. I think Cameron is military, and he's also a guy, and they tend to not be, they hurt just as much, but they are more diplomatic. They are more composed. Their whole world can be crashing, and they're not going to show you that emotion. I think it's just his training. They aren't saying anything to the family. Yeah, I don't think they are either. So I'm sorry, no worries. I hit the like button, but after the live, generally, okay, it's okay, babe. I guess I'm thinking the mustache is kind of irrelevant. He could have changed it about every 3 days if he wanted. Absolutely. I mean, I think that the mustache is relevant because, if whoever this is, if they had I think it's a goatee. I don't think it's a mustache, but if this person had a mustache, a goatee during that time, I think that makes it relevant, even though he may not have one now. But, go back to that date. Did this person, did they have a mustache and or a goatee? Then I know it is true. So why didn't he coordinate searches? I also think Cameron may have suspicious too about who may have been involved. The family may know far less than people assume because investigators sometimes protect family details even from loved ones. You got to realize that they were looking into Tommaso and Annie. That's just a fact. They were, which they do that. They were the last person, Nancy was with. That's virtually the only family that she has there in Tucson. Now that, if you talk to Sheriff Doofy, he says, we should be ashamed of even questioning, that they could be involved, but yet you're the one that took their damn car for 40 some days and all that. I don't know who is involved. I agree, Justin. My son-in-law is military, very well trained, and will not over exuberant with details. Yes. Yeah, it comes with training. It really does. It really comes with training. You don't want someone in law enforcement or military to, fall apart. Literally the entire world can be crashing, and they're not going to let you see them sweat no matter what. Justin, look at the pics I sent, please. Okay, I will do that. Do you text him or do you email him? Thank you, baby kisses. Appreciate you, love. Thank you so much for the support. Really does mean a lot. Thank you, love. What about Perp's teeth? So, some people say that you can see a gap between his middle teeth. But, again, that's not a given. Almost there, guys. Thank you, Indy. Being in the military might not shed tears, but should be more proactive and utilize resources he has, well, as Savannah, maybe. Carmelita, 28 months, what a legend. Thank you so much, Carmelita, for your continued support. When my mom died, my brother took care of everything, including me. I completely fell apart. Justice for Nancy. Yeah, that's the thing. He's essentially the head of the family, right? He's the guy, and we all have that in our family. Someone who is the stronger one, not really necessarily, the one that doesn't fall apart as much and kind of keeps everyone together. A retired FBI guy said on social media believes it was a robbery gone wrong, which doesn't make sense because there is no Nancy. He thought the ransom notes were fake. I disagree with him, Jimmy, personally. If y'all remember, Luke's Rex car was the 27th. Supposedly, I noticed the guy in on the camera when he walks up almost as if he's either stiff-legged or maybe possibly a slight limp. Also, one of the hands. I would just like to know what it was. Hey, Brandywine, good to see you. Thank you. I see you, girl. I wonder, like, what was it that brought him there? That's what we all want to know, right? The mustache hairs on the porch guy looks really short, like freshly trimmed short. It looks very well manicured. I think this guy, like I said, I think he's the guy that really takes care of himself. I think he's really well groomed. He keeps his eyebrows really well groomed. I think he's got very thick eyelashes. I think he keeps his goatee or his beard really well groomed. I think he's, like I say, he wears the buckle jeans. He's got the two like diamond earrings. He keeps a really clean car. He drives like this with probably the music loud on the street, trying to look real cool. I think that's kind of the guy he is, in my opinion. Definitely don't think he's homeless. Kathy, thank you for the gold coin, babe. Appreciate you very much. We might just have to do a chicken party before our pearl spring. Something felt a little off to me about Luke's mom. She's aloof. She's aloof. I wasn't 100% convinced. She seems unsure about some of her answers. She didn't know shit. As far as it seemed like she acted like she didn't know shit. You know what I mean?
To the fact that she was in Tucson with her mom doing the Today Show segment, not that long before all of this happened. Could it just be a coincidence? Or, I mean, it feels like that's like a data point in all of this. Like, what are the chances that right after that airs, Nancy goes missing?
I agree with you. It is definitely a data point. It's definitely something to put up on the timeline. The thing about timelines is, and not the little chicken one we have right now, I'm talking about a serious investigative timeline where you've got all the data points on there. Once you really put together your timeline, you're able to see things that you didn't necessarily see before that. So that is most certainly a very important data point. Now, then that begs the question, do you think Savannah could have upset someone to the point where they're all of a sudden going to cook up this crime to break into her mother's house dressed like some bandito in the middle of the night, scare the life out of her, cause her to bleed, pull her out of her bed, kidnap her, and make her disappear? I don't know. I mean, I could see, I don't care how rude someone has been to me, and I've had people be very, very rude in all different scenarios, including like working on a set, and that's where my mind is going right now. I don't care what they say about me. I don't care what they think about me, so I'm not going to get riled up. I might say some disparaging remarks about them, but I'm certainly not going to cook up some plot to kill some 84-year-old woman.
No.
You know, that's way out.
Okay, so guys, you remember this, right? Remember him? Okay. Well, one of my dear mods just sent me something very interesting. Let's look at this. Maybe I need to save these so we can see him better, so I can zoom in. 2, give me a second, guys. 3 and 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So take a look at this with different hairstyles. Look at there. See what a hairstyle can do? Isn't that interesting? If you're on the mobile, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Let me pull it up. Look at that. And I think this guy probably has shorter hair than he does this 70, PORN type 70s PORN type hair. You know what I mean? Now look at this. Take a look at this one. 3. Now look at him. Look at this without different hairstyle. Out the facial hair. He looks, this one's slightly different. But how interesting, isn't it? Yes, hair changes it all. Yes. Okay, now look at this one. 2. Check this one out. This one I find very interesting. Looky here. How interesting. Let me do it like this. Thoughts? The last pink I sent is striking. Yes. Okay, yeah. Okay. Now let's go to 1. Is that it? Hold on one second. Look at this one. Do this one again. 1 second. 2, 1. Okay. Check this out. Look at the difference. I mean, the hair can really. Don't got one bald, but a lot of people. There's a lot of men that'll be like a bald head, and they'll have like a really nice goatee, really trim. And I think this guy, does like the blunt layers, or the blunt cut. Right. Now, take a look at this one. Check that out. Right here. What are your thoughts on that? That looks like Entin. It doesn't. Oh, good Lord. A lot of men look the same these days, especially with all the manicuring, etc. Well, I know that some people just can't be as masculine as I can, but, what do I say? What do I say? Pacific Islander? Maybe. Or two. No, there's not a lot of men that can be as masculine as I can, wears as much lipstick as I do. So, you know, somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it, though. Same. They all look different with each haircut. Yeah. It does favor Brian. A little bit. The real identifiers are still going to be the nose, lips, jawline, build, gait, all of it. And that's the thing, right? Like, you would, yes, hashtag Butch. That actually proves how careful people need to be when they say these sketches does or does not look like someone. Yeah. Joshua thinks about you. What do you mean? Look at that pic of Entin in the last sketch. Oh, yeah.
Side of that's off the, not only off the reservation, it's off the continuum practically. That is just such a rare occurrence.
I just mean, though, it put her living in Tucson on the radar.
Well, I think that, oh, by the way, I've got the clip of what's her name? Kathy Lee talking about something that might knock your socks off.
It did.
To people who maybe didn't even, I mean, I didn't know that Nancy Guthrie lived in Tucson, you know?
I didn't even know she was from there until after her mother disappeared.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
Didn't either.
I wonder if whoever did this learned about her.
All right, let's do a poll. I want to do a poll here. Watch this. Did you know Savannah? Does she spell it Savanna without an H? I don't care. Or Nancy lived or was from Tucson before this case? Yes, I knew. No, I didn't. Okay, here we go. Did you know Savannah and or Nancy lived or was from Tucson? Put a 1 for yes or a 2 for no. So it'll be added to the poll. A 1 for yes or a 2 for no. I didn't. I had no idea. Had no clue. Apparently Brian and them didn't either. And I think that, goes to tell you, like, it had to be someone she knew almost. We are 36 away from a chicken party. Listen, tell your grandma, tell your sister, tell your brother, say, go hit the thumbs up. So we can get a chicken party. I always thought Savannah was 100% Australian. I think she was born in Australia. I barely remember her. Nancy and hubby were in Australia for a bit. Yeah. Yep, they moved when Savannah and them were young. Thank you, Leslie. I didn't know about the duck other than the Day Show. So we've got 13% knew that Savannah or Nancy lived or was from Tucson, and 87% of you say had not a clue. Born in Melbourne. We love Melbourne. We love the Aussies. We love your Aussies. I love your Aussie. 2, I didn't even know who they were. I knew they were. I didn't know who Nancy was.
Being there from the segment.
Which would lean toward this person having this deep grudge against her long before this episode aired. And perhaps this person had tried to reach out for her, tried to reach out to Savannah a number of times, tried to breach her security boundaries, her concentric circles of security, was unable to at every turn. And
but they
then
lived in
finally
Australia.
saw this and thought, that's how I can get to her.
Yeah, which is something Fitz has also brought up, that he hopes and assumes that the FBI is going back through Savannah's emails
88%.
and, like, you know, the phone calls that come into the Today Show, that there could be some kind of clue there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, think of all the people Savannah has interviewed over the years. Some people can be very patient, right? And it could be something potentially even where, you know, they felt like they were snobbed from Savannah. And it may have nothing to do with Nancy. Sometimes these people take out who means the most to them. My in-laws live in Catalina Foothills and have been there many times and still no idea. Even the neighbors, Susie B., a lot of the neighbors did not know, you know, Nancy's daughter was Savannah like that. I didn't even know who Savannah was, really. A lot of people didn't. Apparently.
Which would make sense.
But then the problem I have with that is the lack of a vehicle at the crime scene. That police were not able to tie a vehicle to this crime. They couldn't find one, wasn't on the cameras, wasn't on any of the cameras going by or at the choke points or on the intersections or at the Circle K. I mean, that to me,
there has to be something.
Narrows to me, it just draws me right back in close to the to her neighborhood.
Right. Now think of that. If there was no fucking vehicle that came out of any of these directions, right? Is it someone really close? Is it in that neighborhood? Someone in that neighborhood. Because listen, your neighbor, it's very possible. It's very, very possible. Very possible. You never know. Kidnapper had to know about the camera from inside information. He knew police weren't on its way. I mean, to be on the property for 40-some minutes doesn't mean inside the house 40-some minutes, but to be on the property 40-some minutes, it does seem like you had to know, like, the security system wasn't in place or whatever. I've seen her, never watched her. I have always thought she was close to home. I think she's close to home. Yeah, I would say within 10 miles. Max.
And just last question I have, with the crime scene issues and the issues that you and I talked about in the beginning, and it seems like everybody I talked to from the FBI, especially from LA, is like, oh, Maureen was she was the best at the crime scene stuff. Like, everybody says that was your thing, you know? Steve Cramer was telling me that.
I love the crime scene stuff, but we had a really good team.
Yeah.
I was part of a team, and I was very lucky to be part of that team.
Do you think us being in this place now more than 6 months later, where things feel like they're at a bit of a standstill, goes back to mistakes made with the crime scene and the way that it was processed before the FBI? Because, you know, you've heard Kash Patel bring up that they didn't come in for days. I mean, do these issues now all go back to the way it was processed initially?
Possibly.
Yes. Just say it.
I mean, the crime scene, if it was an FBI case initially and we saw that she was likely removed from the front of that house, but intended to go out the back of the house, those pots would have been gone, that door handles would have probably been gone, that mat would have 100% been gone. Our crime scene yellow tape would have been, the street would have been blocked off because we would be looking for tire impressions and shoe impressions, even though the original deputies pulled up because they thought it was.
Well, the only reason they know that the vehicle Nancy was in is because, well, there's a log what Uber you're in as well, who your driver is, but the Uber had a camera in it as well, so that's why they know that. Someone left an Audi convertible outside our house. It's been there for a week and a half. No idea. Flat tire and a dent on the panel. Should I call it in? You should take it for a test drive. I'm just kidding. Probably, yeah.
Was a walkaway, as I said, over 90% of these cases are, well over 90, I would guess.
Thank you, Edward. Thank you so much, my dear, for the gold coin. Appreciate you. I love Marine too. Listen to this. Let me listen to this.
Was a walkaway, as I said, over 90% of these cases are, well over 90, I would guess. And you can still work. If you had one or two cars up there, you could still at this point say, whoa, let's hold the phone, tell our guys, get traffic control, our traffic guys out here, cut off this street, put up the crime scene tape. They all have crime scene tape rolls in their trunk. Everybody does. Most people do. And just lock that whole area down. That circle drive in front should have not been accessible. There should not have been cars on that. There should not have been more cars. You could leave the ones that were there for now, until you do a thorough examination of the entire driveway all the way back to the casita. You're looking for shoe impressions in the dirt or in the sand or the soil or whatever that substrate is that you have. You're looking very closely, and I mean very closely, with oblique lighting and everything else, trying to find any shoe impressions, tire impressions, any evidence that people were walking around, any crushed grass below any window on the entire circumference of the residence. You're looking for any broken glass, which I'm sure the initial deputies did, but this all has to be done by the crime scene team. And when they get there, when the crime scene team shows up, we generally get briefed by whoever the detective is or the lead person on scene, and they'll say, hey, you know what, on the north side of the building, we saw something that looks like someone had been standing in this area for a while. Go look and see if you find a cigarette butt or not.
Yeah. And that's, there's been many times where, like Marina's saying, this, the perpetrator will be kind of standing in one spot, and, when they're pumped up or whatever, a smoker, they're going to smoke. Sometimes they throw the cigarette butt down. They don't even realize, because it's just muscle movement. That's what they probably do. They're litterers, right? They throw it down, and they can have a cigarette butt there, and it can show DNA. But if they're standing in one area for a long period of time, there could be footprints. There could be fibers even. You never know what is in those areas. If the scene had been locked down immediately, tire impressions, shoe impressions, mats, doors, hardware, touch points could potentially have answered questions that are much harder to answer. 1000%. I meant the known vehicle she was in at A&T's, with A&T's vehicle. Yeah, they took that. I can't remember what your other question was, but that's how they got the DNA from Koberger. What do you mean? How they get the and 40 to 50 minutes in that house, no one went pee-pee. Well, I mean, he was on the property for that long. Doesn't mean inside the house that long.
Not that many people smoke anymore, but I still see people smoking a lot. So that's my thought on that. So the crime scene should have been 15 times bigger than it was. And people should have been directed, and I told you this early on. When your scene looks like this scene, we've talked before about how hard it is to collapse a scene, and that's why you want it bigger initially. You can always make it smaller as you go on, as days go by. But the other thing you want to do is to create an access and egress pathway that's opposite or in an area where we're not looking for shoe impressions. We're not looking for tire impressions. So it would be like if you're standing out on the street like you did for so long, and you're looking at Nancy's house, and here's the driveway with the casita on the right, and here's the circle drive right in front of you. what I would have done as the team leader is we would have created a path on the left side of the property and walk almost up the property line into a place where we deemed was least likely to be part of the crime scene.
Yeah, and the FBI did do that, but it was just days and days later after it had been opened back up. I remember seeing them do that thing where they all walked in a straight line. It just wasn't right away, you know? It was after people had been allowed to walk on the driveway and come back.
Koberger is a freaking creep. Ugh. You want to talk about someone that creeps me out. Koberger. He is a creep. Can you imagine him? Oh my God.
Back in. I really, really appreciate Maureen for taking the time to talk.
Can you imagine Koberger being in that house and saying, "I'm here to help you"? You motherfucker. Wait, did any of the construction sites in her neighborhood use whatever digs up the ground that could dig up the ground? Like excavators and stuff? Justin, that's one scary dude. Oof, he creeps me out. So Kathy Lee Gifford was on Tomi Lahren is Fearless in Fox News. And she talks about Nancy Guthrie. And listen to what she says. Someone told me about this, that she knows. I'm not going to put up the picture here. I'm going to cover it for fair use. So, but just listen here for a second. It's at 20. Let me make sure. 2620. Okay. Bear with me. 2620. Okay, listen.
A simple word, pray. You don't have to get on your knees. Just lifting up names, God hears it. He knew. I don't know. I know what I think personally about it. And, I'm just praying I'm wrong.
Is it something, there's been a lot.
Okay. Did you hear Kathy right there? She said, I know what I know about it, and I just pray that I'm personally wrong. What does that mean? I've been watching a lot of Idaho 4 documentaries lately. Oh my God. Yeah. Listen to that again.
He knew. I don't know. I know what I think personally about it. And, I'm just praying I'm wrong.
What does that mean? I know what I think personally, and I pray that I'm wrong. Boy, that fucking gave me chills, man. Oh, Mr. Sun, sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me. Thank you, Marcia. Appreciate you, darling. It's what it makes me think too. And I wonder how that's going to go behind the scenes. I wonder if Savannah is going to be like, what the fuck did you say? Why the fuck did you say that? What does she know personally? Yes, Deb, we got 1,000 thumbs up. Ecole, andale, andale. Listen to that one more time. I'm going to have to listen to all of this.
Just lifting up names, God hears it. He knew. I don't know. I know what I think personally about it. And, I'm just praying I'm wrong.
I need to hear from y'all on that. She also says in the podcast that she had numerous interviews lined up to talk about the case, and the family reached out to tell her to cancel them. What is going on with this case? That's what I hear, Carmelita. Yeah, Kathy, give us it. I thought she was not allowed to talk about the case. Hey, Callie, good to see you. All right, let me.
About it, and he knew. I don't know. I know what I think personally about it, and I'm just praying I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm. Is it something, there's been a lot of discussion about coming back to work after something like that. Could you come to work after something like that?
I don't know. I came back to work a week after Frank passed away. Yeah, I could, but I was joyful when Frank died. Not because he died, but the way he died and where he went. Yeah, I don't think so, personally. I don't think I could. I don't know. I hope I never find out. Yeah. What about you? Could you come back to work?
That I would pray that I would never be in that situation, but I know, just covering it and watching that family, it's just I can't imagine. It's unimaginable.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that's a worker that I like to work. Work gives me
too.
Work gives me.
Yeah, I'd be in
an
trouble
escape.
if I didn't have a place to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Let me go back here.
I know that there's not much that you can say.
No.
But because you are such a faith-forward, joyous, hopeful person, what can you share about that and watching this play out and how horrible it is?
Well,
for that
I
family?
had just been asked by Fox and Friends to come on. The Today Show wanted me to come on, and a member of her family basically called me and other people that were at least colleagues with her friends, and said, "Please avoid any media talk right now. We're just overwhelmed." And I said,
why do they not want her to talk about it, though? Like, Kathy could really give a lot of insight. Is that not what they want, though? I think she implies family and she hopes it's not. And that's exactly what I think, Simply Real. And I think Savannah may be going on, and saying, Tommy and Annie, they could never do this. You know what I mean? But there's something more to this, in my opinion. Too close to home, family involved.
So I called everybody back and said, I can't. I've been specifically asked from the family not to. So if you see, and it's hard to get away from the news, if you see it, just lift up a prayer. Lift up a prayer for the family, and who knows where their mom is. I just can't imagine the agony that they're going through. I don't know. I know I pray every day for sure. And I text Savannah all the time. I don't want her to take time out of her grief, mourning, whatever, that anxiety. She needs everything to be with her family now. And believe me, she's a woman of faith. She's praying like she's never prayed before. So just do something good for her then. If you pray for them. It's also a simple word, pray. You don't have to get on your knees. Just lifting up names, God hears it. He knew. I don't know. I know what I think personally about it, and I'm just praying I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Is
Now
it
she's
something,
telling
there's
Catalina
been
to
a lot
talk
of
about
discussion about coming back to work after something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Could you come to work after something like
She says, I know what I know, but or what I think, and I pray to God I'm wrong. But, I was thinking, I'm just trying to think of all the ways. Could she be thinking as well? She could be thinking as well, is this because of Savannah? Is this because of Savannah? And she's hoping that it's not. But she says, I know what I know, and I pray that I'm wrong. I know what I know personally, she says, and I pray that I'm wrong. That's very interesting. I don't think family did it. I've seen too many of these creepers looking around women's houses. Well, I've seen, I don't know, if family did it or not, but What I do find interesting is, yes, people do lurk around people's houses, but they usually don't lurk around 3 weeks prior and then strike. Yeah, it could have been that. I'm just trying to think of all the avenues like she would be, they would be talking about. 2444. 1 second. Yeah, got that. But that is very interesting, Kathy, saying that. But 1 second. One second. Okay. Nancy Guthrie bed sheets with bad actors found near Annie. Okay, let's look at this. What's this? Guys, we got 1,000 thumbs up. Release of Nancy Guthrie notes, prompts, spikes, and tips. Yeah, we know that, but there was newly released ransom notes. What is this?
The department released 2 ransom notes. Why now?
Because you're a fucking doofus. That wasn't it. Okay, here it is. I put the wrong one up. Sorry. Here it is. Nancy Guthrie update. Bed sheets with bad odors found near Annie Tommaso Sione's home sparks buzz. My anxiety. This is from MSN 21 hours ago. A shocking discovery made amid the search for Nancy Guthrie has sparked a buzz online. Bed sheets and a tarp, with, quote, bad odors were reportedly found in the wash off Ternero Street. This is the area where Nancy Guthrie's daughter, Annie Guthrie, and Tommaso Sione live. The 84-year-old mother of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie was reported missing February 1st. Authorities believe she was taken from her Catalina Foothills home near Tucson, Arizona the night before. A New York Post, while retracing Tommaso's movements that night, noted that the couple lived on West Ternero Street. Now the discovery of the bed sheets and tarp has been made in the very same area, mere miles from where Nancy Guthrie's place. This is a renewed focus on the Annie and Tommaso, who have been subjected to public speculation for some time now. Nancy Guthrie was at dinner with Annie the night before. February 1st, Tommaso Sione reportedly dropped her off after making them among the last 2 people to see her before she was reported missing. Notably, the Pima County Sheriff's Department, who are lead on the case, have clarified that none of the Guthrie family members are being considered as suspects. Nonetheless, the new discovery has also drawn a fair amount of reaction online. Here's all you need to know what was found. Shocking discovery made near Annie and Tommaso Sione's home. Mark the Shark, one of the streamers tracing Nancy Guthrie's case, shared the findings on YouTube video snippets that were shared on ht.com, could not independently verify the authenticity of the information. The person shared the clip, bed sheets and a tarp, bad odors, all the things at Mark the Shark is finding in the wash just off. I don't think it would, I'll just tell you something. I don't think 6 months later there's going to be much of an odor on the sheet. I'm just going to tell you. So I don't think it has anything to do with it, to be quite honest with you. Something that's 6, unless they were like buried with it and it, came out of a grave or something like that. That's the only way I think it would have any odor. The person sharing the clip, okay. is finding a wash off on the street. If you know, you know, referring to the significance of the area. Quote, he has been out in the washes in the dark filming, talking to the chat, all while dodging cacti. He had the drone up also showing some stunning night views. End quote, the post added. In a clip, the streamer could be seen with his flashlight out in the sand. He kept moving till reaching the wash. At one point, he appeared to find a dark-colored sheet laying on the ground. Shocked discovery draws reaction. The video drew a wide variety of reaction. Quote, my anxiety is off the charts watching this, one said. Another added, with the tarp shown now, in my opinion, he should have called into the non-emergency line and had an officer come out. Yet another remarked, oh wow, I would be so scared to get out there myself. Mark is a brave man. He's great. Okay. 5-star hotel, never skipped a bathroom detail. The tiny toilet paper fold is designed to tell you something instantly. Well, we don't care about that. Don't care. Okay, moving on. I was watching him too, but these guys never call in their fines. Well, you know, there's some talk about whether this, you know, Nancy's sheets were actually taken or not, but I don't think, in my opinion, that they were. I just don't see it. Further confirmation this time, the exact area where investigators were poking around in Nancy Guthrie neighborhood. Brian Entin was able to confirm with neighbors that investigators were looking around the area below. Look at this. Look at this. Kiwi, the OG, sent me a flower. Thank you, baby. Appreciate you very, very much. Very sweet of you, my friend. So this is the kind of the area that they were poking around here on, and this is the road. It's kind of more grew up now. I wonder, what do you guys, hold on. 1 second. Oh my God. 1 second. One mother chicken second. Bear with me. Be a bear and bear with me. Okay. Huh. You can't really tell right here. Let me look at this. You see this road right here? Look at this. You see this area right here? What if this individual could have like backed into here? Nancy's bedroom is right there. And they took her and put her in the car right here. Right? That way they wouldn't be in her driveway as well. My theory is he was given a key. Now, let me show you this real quick. Check this out. Okay, here is, let me make it big so y'all can see it. So right here we have Nancy's home, right? And this was, I don't see when this was done, but there is that road right there you can see. This is a rental home. I'm not sure if it was rented out at the time. This is 222 East Camino. Same owner as 6010. And this is the neighbor that heard them, but this, let me see here. This home, I think it was for sale. I want to say it was for sale. I mean, think about this. If this wasn't even rented out at the time, see that road going through there? That's the old road that they talk about. They could have just backed right there and taken her out. Right there. Let me see how big that is. Let's just measure how many feet that is. That's 78 feet. That's not far at all. That's not far at all, guys. Very close. Oh my God. Remember some people hiding from cops not so far away too. How did he get in the house? I'm sure Nancy didn't answer the door with, yeah, he got in that house somehow. I mean, listen, this is the thing. If somebody wants in a house, they can get in that house. Oh, thank you, Deb. Thank you, Lovey. The neighbor had a camera. We watched the FBI go talk to the people and point it. Which house was that? That was the other side, though. That was the gym house, though, right? Then why did it go to the front door? I think to take her out, it would have been easier. Right? Because, like, let's say they're parked here, right? Why take her? She's over here, right? Her bedroom is over here, right? Why take her all the way back here and then over and then like this? Or why take her back here and then go over like this when you can just go right there? That's much closer. My house is locked down like Fort Knox. Yeah, I mean, most people's are, but listen, if someone wants to get in, they can get in. I don't give a damn what kind of lock it is. Where was the man's house with the dog that alerted Justin? It was right here. Right there. It was right there, right there. One of the two. One of the two. Right? Which, for... I can't remember. I think it's this one, I'm pretty sure. But that's like 600 feet away. Which is not that far whenever... for like a dog's ears and stuff. The blood on the entrance was Nancy's too. Yes. Yes. Yes, they were looking at that gate. There's a gate on the porch that is not that visible, but it's there that leads to the side front. Correct. Let me find here. Let me look at this. Nancy Guthrie backyard gate. See if I can find the photo of it. Bear with me 1 second. See if I can find this right here. Let me see here. I'm gonna go to Fox News for this.
Through survivor's guilt right now. Guilt, remorse, feelings of worthlessness, feeling like this was her fault when it was clearly not. And look, as we're looking at the drone footage from our drone team right now of the backyard, the big takeaway I took from this interview was the fact that she said doors, multiple doors, were propped open in the back. Now, we know early on in the investigation, the sheriff had insinuated that there might have been forcible entry and then walked it back in later interviews and said there was no forcible entry. So did someone have a key? Was there a keypad had there, or was the door left unlocked? And second of all, Lawrence, this was another huge takeaway for me. Savannah basically assesses that 2 of the ransom notes, the ones that the family responded to, in her words, were real. I think those are the 2 biggest takeaways from this interview.
All right. So like I said, I'm Detective Walsh.
That's not the one I was looking for. Okay, let me show you this. If you remember, this is when they were outside of the house. They were looking, if you're like in the porch and you're looking out like toward the road, they were looking to the right. They kept looking to the right. And I've got pictures of them down on the ground right there as well. Let me find this. They were very interested in the garage, it seems like, as well. That makes me wonder. And that's Tomaso's home. 1 second here. Okay, here we go. Here's that. One second here. This is, give me a second. Let me look where I'm at. This is the, I think here. This is the pool area and stuff. That's that gate that goes out through the backyard. Let me see here. And if you look at this, right? So this is that gate right there. And we were looking at it this direction. Her bedroom is right here. Her bedroom is right here. I'm just wondering. Let me see here. Where's that road at? Where would they pull up? Here it looks like you can't even drive anywhere. But there's a road there. I mean, they could have. Wondering if they pulled around back. Let me see here. Wait. Okay. Just go down a little bit more. It's so hard to see. You would have to know where the fuck you're going, that's for sure. That's behind the house. And look right through here. I'm going to have to look at this a little bit closer. Is a walkway or road behind the house, and where does it go? There's this, they call the, what do they call it? The bus trail or something, but it's really, to me, it looks like it. You couldn't even drive on it nowadays, but it's very dark at night. By the garage, the sheriff's car used a position itself back there, and at the times they turned the lights off when doing shift changes, they didn't even see it back there. It's dark. You can see right into her house. Yikes, yeah. A lot of questions. A lot of questions, I know. It's crazy. We'll stay on top of it, though. Guys, it's almost 1 a.m. here. Damn, I need to go to bed. That's crazy. I believe you're correct. It makes sense. Keeps the vehicles out of view from the road. Most important, Nancy, out of view from traffic. Yeah. I want to go there, but it's too crazy there. The 4 houses down the street, aside from all the cacti, there's way too many hiding places and blind corners. It's very dark. You can basically hide in the open. Yeah. If I were a criminal, that's where I'd go. Have filed a notice of claim seeking a total of 3.25. Yeah, we were just reading that earlier. And listen, you know, if he's no longer a suspect, and you can name that the family's no longer a suspect, give these guys the decency of saying they're no longer a suspect either. You know, it's late. It sure is. I know you don't want to hear about intuitive psychics, as I know your beliefs, but a couple have said there was a side road where you saw a vehicle in there. Just saying, take it as you will. You know, it's not that I just don't usually mix psychics and true crime. Like, for me, I'm fine with psychics and stuff. But I don't let that lead me. Does that make sense? I don't let that lead me to find things because just a psychic says it. Now, like, if to me that's where, like, I think, you know, the case is going and the psychic says it, that's great. But that's just me. Why didn't they leave a ransom note at the house? Good question. Good question. Yeah, exactly, Callie. Exactly. Guys, thank you all. Oh, we got to have a chicken party. Holy crap. I almost ended without a chicken party. We got 1,000 thumbs up. What the Hades? Shame on me. And we'll end with my little rap session. The first video I'm going to show you, it is an actual video of me eating a little piece of fruit, okay?
Let me see what's going on with this little piece of fruit, baby. Clear my throat. Got a good little ring to it, and I tart it all very sweet. Let me get on up here, baby. I don't need everybody in my mix. See, you don't need to see Big Mama eat her oranges. Go on back the camera up and stop playing with my time before I get active mode face.
The next video is an actual video of me putting on lipstick and people talking about my veneers.
Girl, how I look? Like a damn fool. No, them veneers don't make that look no better. Girl, bye.
The next video is an actual video of Sheriff Doofy taking a midnight call.
Hello? Hello? I said don't disturb you, I'm cleaning my room!
Yeah. Oh my God, look at Chris.
Joe Daugherty wants to watch the videotape.
Is that Chris?
Marvin, you better not shit where you eat, honey. Get out of here. What the fuck?
This nicotine patch for an hour, and I'd still sell you in for a smoke. Come on back to my place. I want you to look at a urine sample. I think it looks cloudy. It's been so long since someone touched me.
Get up off me. I said that's enough. Let my gut to the go. You act like you starving, Monquito. Now I said that's enough. You want to bite me? Huh? Okay. That's how I feel. Now get up off me. Got these people recording me act like I don't feed your ass. And look at your damn daddy just sitting there. You need to come get your damn daughter. She get this shit from you. Now let my damn titty go. You didn't eat. Let it go. Because at this rate, I'm not going to care if Monkey Protective Services come get your ass. Now let them go. You didn't eat and you acting like you starving. Okay, we won't listen. We won't listen. Who is that? Oh, I thought I heard something. Now get your... Okay, let me just turn my ass around. Now, didn't I tell you to let my shit go? Now, I'm not about to keep playing with you in front of these people. I'm trying... Okay. Okay. Let me see who looking. Okay, hey.
Stop. You love touching my belly. Oh, you make me feel so sexy and confident. Oh, let me back up so you can look at it. Hi, look, babe. Stop playing. I just fall hot when you do that to me, boy. Come on now. Oh, look at these legs and stuff you got. Oh, I think I want to touch and kiss up on you real quick. What's up in public? Let's do it right here in public, babe. What's up, boy? Come on, let's do it in public, babe. Stop playing with my time. Come on, boy. Come on, babe. Let's do it in public. Ooh, don't start nothing. Won't be no start, no shoe, won't be no stuff. Come on now, touching my titties and all that. Come on, boy, in public. Ooh, let me take this leg real quick and then. Ooh, where you going? Where you going, babe? Come here. Touch on me. Tease me. Nah, for real. Come on, let's go. What you doing? Baby, come on now. We got to get to the barbecue. Stop playing now. Stop playing with my time. Oh, let me get up here. Oh, look at that butt. Oh, take this shirt off real quick. See, let's go on and get wet out. Let's show them the way, because you know I do what I do when I do it. Come on, babe. Come on. Oh, this shirt is cute. Come on now. And let me tell you something. Why you liking that girl photograph on Instagram? I told you about getting too friendly-handed on Instagram. Stop liking their pictures. Stop liking their pictures. Do you hear me? They don't need to know you. Stop. Stop liking their pictures playing on my time. Come on, babe. Let's go. I'm hungry now. They waiting on us. I want me a rib sandwich with some little cheese. Boy, get from behind me. See, you...
Oh. Suck it now. Oh. Suck it now.
Christopher! Katie!
Daniel.
Christopher! Katie!
Daniel. A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit. A bullshit.
Oh Lord, kumbaya.
And it
to
was
Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot.
Yes,
Mr. Proudfoot, what happened?
They can shut their chicken tone, chicken bone, Google Chrome, no home flip phone, disown ice cream cone, garden gnome, student loan, full-blown Indiana Jones, overgrown Flintstone, X and Y chromosome, red zone, Sylvester Stallone, AutoZone, professionally seen silver Patron, head the fuck up. Okay.
How you doing? Yes, ma'am. How you doing? Good. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you staying up late with me, 1:06 in the AM, doing it live, late. You did that shit live. I did. I was on it that day, honey. I was on it that day. To Screaming Chickens and Justin's chicken rap makes me laugh so much. Thank you, Ritui. Appreciate you, my darlings. Justin still loves those chickens. I do. I think they're funny. I think they're hilarious too. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Way too funny, Justin. Thank you. Thank you, my dear. All right, guys. Much love. Really do appreciate you. Thank you for 1,000 thumbs up. Special thanks to mods, members, and chat. Do appreciate you. Hopefully something will come out with Nancy sooner, hopefully, than later. Take good care of yourselves. You only get so many trips around the sun. Hug your loved ones. Time is precious. Good night, everyone.